This should be my second story.
All right. Well, I don't hate you guys hearing behind the scenes stuff as we're talking there. Me, Bobby, and our new executive producer, the Birds, are live here. Yeah, the Birds. If you if you saw our Thursday Thought Show yesterday on the Patreon, exclusively the Patreon people, you would have heard the Birds make their big debut. And now the Birds are here live in the morning. Me, Bobby, and the Birds. Woo!
It's getting to a point where I don't know if I need a bigger bird or a cat to solve my problem.
Like a hawk?
Yeah, like a falcon, lower dolphin. That's where I went. We were the Falcons. So I would probably get a falcon. And then
Yeah, and hawks tend to be handicapped. Like Stephen Hawking, he was handicapped.
Ooh.
I know a guy named Steve Hawk who listens to the radio station that Steve Nagel's on, the Rock 102 in Springfield. He's a big fan of their show, and his name is Stephen Hawk, and he's in a wheelchair as well. So if you have the name, like the combination there, you could be crippled. So if you called him Stephen the Hawk, he would not be able to help you.
Ooh, wasn't there that movie, The Golden Hawk or The Golden Eagle, where even
Falcon.
Stevens? Yeah, that was the chocolate falcon.
Yeah, no, it's Peanut Butter Falcon.
Oh, that makes sense. They do love peanut
Chocolate
butter.
Falcon would be the guy from Malcolm in the Middle, the black kid who was his friend in the wheelchair.
Who then grew up. Okay, yeah.
Yes.
The peanut butter falcon was even Stevens takes a retarded guy around until they win a gold medal or something.
Yeah. And then, wait, that's not. And then when he gets older, and he's real old, Kevin Hart takes him around and tries to take his money when he's Bryan Cranston. Right?
Oh, yeah. Lots of good movies out there about
before we
retards.
start the show. Have you seen? Well, good morning, everyone. Good morning, Kish. Good morning, happy fucking Friday. Whatever. I don't know. Have you seen the Kevin Hart Mark Twain Award show?
No.
Right, you know what the Mark Twain Award prize is, right?
For authors, yeah.
Well, no, for the since '94, whatever it was, they've been doing them on TV. But like, they had the comedic voice, basically. Like, it's not just for comedy people, but the comedy award, where last year Adam Sandler got it, the year before Chappelle got it, Bill Murray's got it. Richard Pryor was the first person ever to get it.
They're keeping about as historically relevant as Mark Twain, aren't they, with these awards? Adam Sandler won last year.
Well, because it's not stand-up comic. It's a lifetime achievement for contributing to comedy. So if you take all the things that Sandler has done, moving and all that, and that's what they do. Like the big debate for years is that Howard Stern should get one. Everyone's saying that, but they said no. But if you take a comedic voice and you're talking about it from radio, he is the biggest thing there. And Lorne Michaels has one. So it's people that contribute to comedy in a higher up way ever. So this year, Kevin Hart got it. And every year, the one of the best ones to watch. The only one on Netflix right now is the Chappelle one. It's great. You've probably seen clips of it a couple years ago. Eddie Murphy won. And when Eddie Murphy won, he did the Bill Cosby impression at the Mark Twain Award. He goes, he's naming all the people that won, and then he goes, he's like, wait, Cosby, did he have to give it back? And he's like, you done fucked up when they ask you to give back the trophies. he's like, when they're asking for a trophy back, you did something wrong. And then he just goes into the Cosby impression, and then he actually calls Hannibal Buress the N-word as Bill Cosby at the Mark Twain Award. Like,
I mean, did he call him the N-word Hannibal? Because that would just be Mark Twain accurate.
But no, he didn't. But that kind of thing, at least, when they did the Dave Chappelle one, it was great because they have several presenters come out. They don't really present; they come out. They're all nominating them, but all people from their lives are like that. When Chappelle did it, like obviously Neil Brennan was part of it. Jon Stewart was part of it. Sarah Silverman, but they had from Saturday Night Live. They had why am I blanking out? Oh, Keenan. Kenan Thompson standing on stage at the same time as Jost and Che. So Kenan Thompson does his thing, says some of those things, whatever, the little anecdote, whatever. Che does his thing as well, and he's like, Dave Chappelle taught. He has a great. He's like, Dave Chappelle taught us that you want to make fun of anybody, you talk about anyone, anytime. Whites, gays, end of list. Anyway, And it's like, the whole place went nuts laughing. He's like, that's basically what he talks about, White and Gaze. So they get through that whole thing, and Colin Jost is just standing there. And then they go to him, and he just goes, and I am here to honor Mark Twain. And the whole place just goes nuts. And he goes, I'm going to read a passage from Huckleberry Finn. And he takes out the book, and he goes, and Jim, speaking, no, in Huckleberry Finn, he's like, in Finn talking to his friend Jim, also known as, and then they cut him off right there. But it was like,
that's amazing too.
Sarah
Who knew the Mark Twain Awards were so fucking lit?
It's one of the best shows there. Most people, like the last couple of years, the shows are attended by everyone big. It's in DC. It's usually the president of the last couple of years. It hasn't been before that. The presidents would always go, like Obama went to and stuff. Every famous person's in the audience. But Kevin Hart's was produced by Kevin Hart. In as much as Kevin Hart is the biggest draw in arenas, and he is a huge deal. It's not usually given to people. For a long time, it wasn't given people that were like, it's still in their career. Like Jon Stewart, Chappelle, he made the jokes that, like, you're not supposed to be alive. Eddie Murphy, same thing, but Eddie Murphy hadn't been doing stand-up forever. So it was different. All the other people they've given it to, Carlin, obviously, like, the biggest names in comedy are obviously there. But Kevin Hart getting it was kind of weird. And it just became, like, the Kevin Hart produced show about, like, it was almost like a infomercial if you were going to buy a Kevin Hart. It was just like,
and if you act right now, we'll throw in a Chris Rock for free.
Right. And people from all walks of life that are involved in your life can be there present. So like musicians can, stuff like that. Like for Chappelle, Bradley Cooper came out because they're friends, but they were also in that movie The Star Is Born together, and he talked about that, whatever. Other people in it. Kevin Hart starts off, all right, if you want to talk about someone who's good morning, Stormy. Thank you for catching up on the episodes the other day. She commented on that. We appreciate you. They start off by having a musical act. Now, other one that starts off, it's like, little, someone like Chappelle started off like he was doing comedy at the DC Improv the night before with a lot of other famous people talking about getting nominated and they want to be in that town. And then like they show the thing, they look clips and things. It's fine. Kevin Hart starts off with this whole thing like it's Michael Bay made it, like lights, boom, noise, whatever. Kevin Hart, greatest thing, whatever. And then they go out here at first. Robin Thicke, remember Robin Thicke? That guy, he's singing Fever, but he changed the words about how hot Kevin Hart is on stage and how fire his mic is. And then as he's done, then Nelly comes out and Nelly sings "It's Hot in Here" with Robin Thicke dancing. I'm like, what is this, 2006? Like, why are these the two people? And then all the presenters come out and they're all like telling stories. Like Tiffany Haddish, JB Smooth, Nick Cannon did a very funny thing where because Kevin Hart doesn't know who's coming out. They put extensions out to people, but they're not sure exactly who's there. But when he came out, Seinfeld there, Chappelle there, Chris Rock there. But when they announced coming now, Eddie Murphy, and you saw Kevin Hart's face light up, but it's probably fake and produced because the whole thing is. But like he's like, oh my god, I can't believe it. But Nick Cannon came out going, you think Eddie Murphy would come to your stupid thing? And it's like, and making fun of all this stuff. And then Chappelle said that's the funniest, or no, Chris Rock said it. Chris Rock afterwards goes, that's the funniest Nick Cannon's ever been. But everything was just like overproduced. And Kevin Hart had a live mic while he's sitting with his family, and no other nominees like had been a live mic in like getting up. It just felt like he must have donated so much money to the Mark Twain Fund or to PBS who puts out the shows, because it's almost like he bought his way in. It felt fake and phony, and I've always enjoyed those shows. So. And I guess Bobby died. Bobby was, let's say 29. I think he's older, but he was 29. R.I.P. Bobby. There he is. But yeah, if you get a chance to watch that, the Kevin Hart thing, don't. I mean, you can. I guess it made me not. I wasn't a fan. I didn't think it was a good time at all. By the way, for people that are not on our Patreon, people that are, I hope you checked out yesterday. We have a Thursday Thoughts thing where we break down one topic or one story that we covered on the show, and R.I.P. Bobby, and then we we do one topic that we covered the show. So last week we talked a lot about the commencement stories. So we did Thursday thoughts on that, where just Bobby and I went back and forth with the commencement stories and jokes and stuff of that nature. You also get the other. We are building the new names of the tiers and little options. So if you're on there this week, check it out to see because the things you are getting offered for each tier. There's not much difference in one or the other, but there is one little bonus thing you'll get in the $10 tier that you wouldn't get in the 3. So you can check that out. But yeah. So Bobby, you're okay.
Yeah, that may be a frequent occurrence this morning.
Bobby,
back and forth. Burger King, fuck
so
me.
Apparently Taco Bell is a Mexican phone company. Who knew? How?
Welcome aboard, DJ Ricky Smith.
And Terry Nee said R.I.P. because I thought you died. I was,
I
all said you were dead. So.
I had to go. They called me real quick. Kevin Hart needed me to present an award.
I
had to go out and pretend I was Belushi from Beyond the Grave.
Do you have a story about how Kevin Hart was very bad at very mean to you, but like it's okay now because you're friends? Because that's basically all the stories. And it wasn't like any retribution. It was just like Chelsea Handler told a story about how during COVID she wanted to go to Canada. She said it. She goes, I wanted to go to ski. I was being pretentious. They weren't letting anybody in. But I saw that Kevin Hart every day was filming a movie during the beginnings of COVID, going to Canada and America back and forth every day. Everyone else had to wait 2 freaking weeks. It had to go through all these things, COVID protocols and all stuff. And Kevin Hart was. So he'd been on my show. We've been friends. So I was like, Kevin, get me in there. He's like, I got you. And then she goes, and I never heard from him again until he needed me on this goddamn show. So it's like, everyone else. And JB Smooth came out and said, Kevin Hart's amazing. At the beginning, I mean, people loved him. That's because he was basically stealing my act. He stole but that's okay. When you're chefs, you can work with those things that other people give you. And it was like, so at the end, Kevin Hart went off on him, but it almost felt like it was like all set up for that. But then Kevin Hart also did a 10-minute, this is how you believe. This is how you strive. It was like a TED talk at the end. It was kind of like, what the fuck? But they were all... It was fun, but they tried to make it like roast-like when the other ones are just like people talking from the heart about it. They do say funny little quips, but it was overly produced. He even said at the end, he was yelling at some of the people on it about stories they told, and he goes, "You don't think I'm going to cut you out?" Keith Robinson was at it, and that was great, but he came out real slow, obviously with the strokes. And he said that Chris Rock calls him Strokey Robinson, which is one of the funniest fucking things ever.
Amazing.
Yeah. So when he came out, Kevin Hart did say, "You don't think we're gonna edit your slow ass out? I'm producing this. We're gonna make it so you're already there." That was kind of funny, but it felt like they were put there so he could yell at someone because he couldn't yell it because he was so happy that Jerry Seinfeld was there. And Jerry Seinfeld came right out the beginning and said, sometimes first thing he said was, sometimes in comedy in the professional world, you do a thing called a favor. And right here is me doing a favor being done. He goes, I'm not saying that Kevin Hart already did something for me and I owe this favor. I'm not saying that I'm not doing this so someday Kevin Hart will owe me a favor. You can decide on that, but a favor is being done, and I want to be. It was very well done. It was like his way. But overall, it was just Little Dicky was talking. And I like Little Dicky, but like what we got Little Dicky here. It's the Plastic Cup Boys all came out and they made a joke going, if this was the BET Awards, you'd all be jumping around with psyched that we're here. But it's all
that's fucking hilarious, actually.
Yeah, so
I wish Kevin would have given Seinfeld the same treatment as Keith Robinson. Jerry, what the hell's up with that Shoshana bitch? You got some explaining to do, Jerry.
The only Kevin Hart star I remember is him over at Diddy's on NYE, and we went over to Diddy's bedroom, and Diddy says, Kevin Hart. Diddy says, this is where Usher and I wrestle on cornflakes, and Kevin says, you can't say that. Yeah, you know that, right? That's the whole thing. Kevin Hart is known for shushing people when they talk about the things that were supposedly Kevin Hart's in the Illuminati. Or whatever, or like the Hollywood Illuminati. Like Kelly Clarkson was talking about things she was just given and things she was put in on some show. And I guess in the background, Kevin Hart's going, shh. And she's like, oh, I'm not supposed to talk about that out loud. Like, that's a famous clip where she's retarded and doesn't understand like her place in the world.
He is the one guy who skated through fucking Me Too. When everybody came out and they were like, he's cheating on his wife, he's doing this, he just was like, oh, my bad, y'all. I'm Kevin.
Well, not in that. He's also the only guy to be on there for he got fired by the Oscars for because he went back to his things about being saying little boys shouldn't play with Barbie houses and that's gay and all that. And then people were mad at him for like 4 hours.
Yeah, it lasted a grand total. More people were angrier at Gervais longer than they were at Kevin Hart for saying "don't fuck little boys." Did you hear what Kevin said to Chelsea Handler when she asked him to get him into Canada?
No.
He said, "Bitch, you shut your goddamn motherfucking mouth, no titty having ass bitch." That's his one
Wow.
joke that I enjoyed.
Oh, I didn't know the punchline. I thought he just went nuts. I was like, nice.
No. You all right? Now it seems like you're looking at my birds.
No, people make me insane. I also watched Nikki Glazer's new special last night, and I'm telling you right now, hilarious. And I went and I didn't like her last special that much. I liked it, but I didn't love it. I've seen Nikki, and I find her very funny, but she has a new one on Max, so I went to watch it, and dude, fucking hysterical from like front to back. It was really good. So I posted that on Facebook, and I put the poster and I even wrote in it, "This is great. Check it out on Max." And of course, 3 people write, "What channel is it on?" And it's
Where do
just
I
like,
see
fucking
this?
read it. What the fuck?
Who's Max? Why'd you do a whole special about Max?
Yeah. Why she could do it about me? I mean, she could fuck me. Why did she fuck me? Guy in basement in fucking Toledo. Fuck me. Why can't I be the guy? What the fuck? So anyway, Bobby, I know you're not feeling that well. So anytime you do have to run away, you feel free. You just tap out. You don't have to stay on the whole thing. But because of this, why don't we have you do your story first? So that way you can get it out if you want, and then I can have other stories later if you die and leave.
Okay, thank you. The good news is I do think I shit the worst of it out, so we should be okay. Maybe during our first commercial break. Do you want to hear the big story I have, or do you want to hear the one that's kind of funny, I think?
Let's go to the big story.
All right, let's hit it out the gate. Can I have the right to share?
You should always. It should never not be a thing.
Let me make sure I have it. Sorry, I'm a little slow this morning.
No worries. I
share
always
these
leave it
again.
there so you have the access that you need.
So this actually does a pretty good job of presenting the story itself. So can you see it now?
I see him.
Now let's hit it. Have you seen this yet?
To the 7-year-old
No.
who had to watch me and my brothers jump her daddy after school, I'm sorry. I know that was probably a traumatizing experience for you, but we kept asking you to stop bullying my daughter and you wouldn't listen. We sent letters home. We even had a meeting with you and your parents and you wouldn't listen. So now you know your actions have consequences. And since you're too young to receive those consequences, you had to watch your daddy take those consequences. Get some therapy. You'll be all right.
He just confessed to a crime on
Yeah.
TikTok.
He apologized to a 7-year-old girl, to the 7-year-old girl who just watched your daddy get beat up by me and my boys. I'm sorry.
Get some therapy.
That's my favorite tag. You want to watch it one more time? I feel like it was a
Yeah, go right ahead because there's a lot there. First of all, if it just happened, he's in a good mood.
Yeah, I don't think the scrap lasted long.
Well, it's him and his boys too.
To the 7-year-old girl who had to watch me and my brothers jump her daddy after school, I'm sorry. I know that was probably a traumatizing experience for you, but we kept asking you to stop bullying my daughter and you wouldn't listen. We sent letters home. We even had a meeting with you and your parents and you wouldn't listen. So now you know your actions have consequences.
Now you know your actions have consequences. But Pat, you might be saying to yourself, she's 7. She can't handle those consequences.
And since you're too young to receive those consequences, you had to watch your daddy take those consequences. Get some therapy. You'll be all right.
Yeah, but what about the daddy? He's not going to be all right. What the
No,
fuck, man?
no,
That
he's
got
never
to
going to
do
walk
with me.
again. So, Pat, who's the piece of shit in this story? Is it the guy who went on TikTok to be like, we just beat up some girl's dad because his daughter bullied my daughter? Is it the dad of the bully daughter? If your daughter's a bully, you better learn how to fight, or some other dads are going to come fight you. Is it the 7-year-old? Why are you letting your daddy handle your business? You wanted to be a man then when you were bullying the kid? Go fight these grown-ass adults. We'll throw it to you first, Pat. Who's the piece of shit in this story?
The piece of shit is not this guy. Now, first of all, this is not the way you should handle things. You should definitely not get your brothers and go jump a man. at a school because kids are being kids and fighting and bullying. No, it's wrong. It sucks. As a parent, the last thing I ever wanted to hear ever was that anyone was ever bullying my kids or being mean to them. And yeah, you do get that urge of wanting to save them and do all those things, but it's not the way that it's handled. And you're not teaching a lesson by beating it. Like, I know you're saying that it's a 7-year-old. It's not going to get the consequences of it, especially a 7-year-old who doesn't even understand that they shouldn't be rude to other kids. They're not going to get, eye for an eye. They're not understanding that thing. And at the same time, all they're going to know is their dad got hurt. And all you're really doing is teaching your daughter that if things don't go well, my dad will beat the shit out of people. And it's going to make her now be cockier and make her now be more of a bully because she's like, I can say what I want. For the girl that wasn't afraid, now she's like, oh, it doesn't matter because my dad and my uncles will come beat the shit out of you. No matter what age you are, if you have parents, if not, watch out, grandparents or your legal guardians, or I guess whoever. I guess it falls down a line. Like whoever's there picking you up that day is taking a beating of a lifetime. Because I'm sure that guy, the father, got beat up and just literally went to go pick her up. I'm sure they can go to his work. They're probably like, oh, I'm picking up my kid. And they're like, we're gonna beat the shit out of you. Now this father, now being on TikTok, is not allowed to go to any school events or anything like that. You just can't let this guy on anywhere near other kids for what he did, but he isn't the piece of shit. In his mind, he did the right thing. He loves his daughter. It's good to see that people that care and stuff like that. Going to TikTok, also wrong. Hilarious that we get to see it. Hopefully it's fake and not a real story. Not you faking it, but you know what I mean?
No, yeah.
Him doing this as a thing in his car, like a lot of people do, like when they're like, I love my wife, and they really don't in their car, they get a million views, that kind of shit. It's not him. It's not his brothers either. His brothers were just like, that's our niece. That's what we're doing. Unless he means just friends. I'm saying brothers because I just assume he means like his actual brothers. But sometimes black guys say brothers and they just mean friends. Either way, the people that are close to him, they're helping out. They were told someone's fucking with the baby girl, and they're like, all right, let's go fuck a man up. Get that. It's not the dad for getting his ass kicked. He wasn't expecting this. He was just going there to pick up his daughter. His daughter's kind of mean. He's probably already defensive. We're like, his daughter probably yells at him too. Mean 7-year-olds, they're not just mean to other kids. They're mean to everybody. Sometimes they're just there, and it kind of stinks. The piece of shit in this story, though, is, and this is going to sound weird, it's who, I don't know how you can name this a piece of shit. I guess it would. I said it wasn't the father and them, but it's their decision of who to beat up is the piece of shit in this story. It should have been any teachers that have those kids in the same class together, because it's not when they go to school and their bullying's happening at school. The bullying's not happening when the parents are there. You can sit there and go, it's the raising of the whatever. Well, sir, in your car talking shit about beating up 7-year-olds' parents. Should your parents get beat up? Because this is behavior that's wrong. Do your parents have something to do with that? Or are the people that are around you right now filming the camera for you or telling you to put it out there? Are those the people? Like the teachers. Teachers need to step in and go, hey, stop fighting, or there's consequences. Teachers are supposed to teach consequences. Parents give love and all that kind of stuff, but they can't do it there. So they should have beat the shit out of the teacher. That would have changed everything. When the teacher says, don't bully, it's not like they're just saying it to say it. Now they're like, you don't bully, or I'm going to get my ass kicked. Whatever you have to do, you get over there. I will try harder at my job because this one man on TikTok is going to show up here and beat me up with his brothers every time things don't go well in the classroom. But now he should also offer that to everyone in the classroom. So the bully kids think, well, haha, what do I care? The teacher's getting beat up. It's like, no. This guy will also beat you up, 7-year-old. He doesn't care. Him and his brothers are going to beat up anybody who misbehaves. A long time when I was in college, me and my buddy Jamie, he was a big guy. We got high one time and we went to the movies. And at the movies, before the trailers started the movies, what do they have? They had like ads on the screen. It's like Fred's Plumbing. You could buy a thing. We got high and we got the number down and we called and asked if we could do it. We wanted to have a thing where him and I just wore wife beater t-shirts, went like this, and then said, need your neighbor to shut the hell up? Call us. And we wanted to just have it be like a joke thing and do that. They're like, no, we can't do that at all. But I'm like, we wanted to offer that service. I'm happy this man is finally the person that's going to take this idea to the next level. You need people to be good in class or here or whatever. We will beat you up. No age, no size, no race, no creed. Nothing matters. As long as if you're acting up, fist to the face. So yeah, they just beat up the wrong people.
I see what you're saying. I like to think that when he said brothers, he meant omegas. Hey.
I don't think that guy went to college.
I mean, it seems like he had pretty good conflict resolution skills.
Really? He went on TikTok and confessed to his crime.
Yeah, no, I know. That's my point. Good situational awareness. But I will say, as much as I think I get where you're coming from, that the way he handled it was wrong, I do think he did kind of handle it right to a large extent. Like, he taught his daughter an important life lesson. Because if you listen to it, the first thing they did is they tried to talk to the teachers. That didn't work. They tried to talk to the other girl's parents. That didn't work. They tried to talk to the other little girl. So sometimes you have to run through your list of solutions and then get violence involved a little bit. And I'm not saying you should go beat up somebody else's dad, but I do think it's important to note, like, he clearly took his daughter step by step along the way. You know what I mean? Like, hey, this is how we solve a problem. We start with this solution. We try to talk it out as much as we possibly can before we move on to anything else. So,
okay, so now the father can't work, right? So now the father, let's say he's beat up for real and he can't work. Okay, let's just go that scenario. He got beat up so bad he cannot work. Now he's upset even more. Now he's yelling at the daughter. He's upset at everyone in the family. He might be getting angry and stuff like that. It's not going to make the girl learn a lesson. Now she gets angrier. Now she wants to do more shit. You want to talk about a reason why someone's a school shooter? You beat up my dad. And now I come into the school and I do that. Or, or what you're teaching now is that you're teaching the younger daughter and everyone else that violence is the answer. Going to beat him up didn't change anything. The girl could still be a dick. She might not like her dad. Well, do you fucking know that? Do we know if the 7-year-old respects the dad? Do we know the story? You might not even give a fuck. I get what you're saying, Bobby, but it doesn't do the job. You have to beat up the girl. The only way you do it is if
I'm
you
talking about
beat
his daughter,
up the
though.
girl. No, I am too. He has to go there, and he has to. If the father wants to get upset, he has to go and he has to punch the girl one time. He punches the girl one time. She will never bully anybody again because then a giant. If he does that, and he hides back in a bush like shh, and then pops in the bush. Nothing ever happens again. Beating up the father just will cause more damage and more crazy. It just teaches everyone to fight. No one's learning. I raise 7-year-olds. They don't learn life lessons like that. It's not going to compute. It didn't work for that. I know what he's saying. It's not for the kid. This is just adults saying, well, things didn't go the way I wanted them to go when I spoke to people. The way he spoke on there, if that's the way he spoke with a thug attitude and a wife beater at the fucking school conference, he might not have been like polite. He might not have listened. We don't even know the other side. What if it really wasn't the bullying? Maybe the girl maybe the younger daughter told her dad, I'm being bullied, when she's not. She's the bully. Because that happens a lot with 7-year-olds too. So this guy just went there and said, well, they ain't listening to me, so now I'm going to beat the shit out of people.
Fair point, but I would say history is written by the victor. And clearly this dude and his brothers were the victor of today when they stomped out that other dad.
As a baby. She should have been punched as a baby. Like the second she came out, just a punch. They didn't know she was mean yet. Just preemptive strike.
You just got to be careful. Put them in their place young.
No, and I don't think any violence is any answer, but it's not. This is not. It's funny for us to watch. It was a hilarious video. It's not a solution. It's not a good thing in any way. Now more people, the copycat people who are like going beating people up, and now we're going to go on TikTok and cut a promo after. It's like, it's like my boss didn't give me a raise. We asked for a raise. I told we needed the raise, and he didn't give me the raise, so we beat the shit out of him. Hopefully, you get a raise now. Go to therapy.
I like that.
Why?
I love that. Let's take the world back. Let's stop letting these nerds run everything. Oh yeah, Mr. Accountant, I don't have any money. Then we beat him up. I'm just saying.
Your manager isn't in charge of the money. He's just told what the higher ups do. To beat up someone because someone else did something is stupid. It's stupid.
I know what you're saying. However,
because it's right. It's easy to know when things are right. I'm right. Like you can just go beat people up because you don't get what you want.
You don't think that like sometimes when you find yourself in a conflict resolution situation where you've exhausted every attempt and the other party just won't leave you, like World War II, Japan kept being like, let's fight USA, and we kept being like, no, and then Pearl Harbor. And then Afghanistan kept being like, let's fight. And we were like, no. And then 9/11. You know what I mean? Like sometimes when you've ignored the bully, done everything you could to stay away from the bully, and he just keeps antagonizing you, the next solution is violence, whether it be fists or words.
I don't think so. And first of all, I'm not a big fan of war. But hey, because to me you're saying it'd be different. That's a whole different thing because now you've got people going. I'm in the government. I have a conflict with other things going on. Nobody was challenging me, Pat Oates, to any war. So, but you want me to go fight in your war because you're mad at other people. So to me, you go to war, you go army. That's a whole different ball of wax where I'm like, I'm not a big fan of like, hey, let's get a bunch of people's job to be fight when we get angry when we don't get oil and stuff, or we're not getting the things we want. Wow, I want some things. Like I want things too. We're in charge. Let's make our minions fight each other. No, I don't think that's the answer to basically anything. Is the fight? It doesn't do it. If people aren't doing what you want, grow the fuck up and go do other shit. Like that's what you do.
But like,
I'm not getting what I want.
What if you tried to like go on and do other shit and just ignore all the other negatives? Like, what if they'd move this girl to private school, right? And then the bully moved to private school with her and just wouldn't let her live her life.
Wouldn't let her live her life? She's 7. She doesn't have it's not like she has her social life. She's going out with her parents everywhere. She's not. If it was 14 or 15, I'm getting it. She's
Her
fucking
parents.
7 years old.
And the Chimney Rock Elementary current heavyweight champion of the world.
Yeah, well, not really. I mean, also, what's kind of dorky is that he needed his brothers to be. I wonder how big his dad was, or like, why did you have to jump him? You want to teach your daughter a lesson? Then maybe 1-on-1, I can see it.
Somebody beat up me because of my trans daughter. She was bullying this other girl, so it took 6 of them. I'm gonna be a little injured when I fight Mike Tyson or Jake Paul later in this week.
Oh, that was Mike Tyson? I wasn't sure what you were
trying to do Tyson.
No, I don't. I think you told me once. I don't know anything about Tyson's kids. I think so. I didn't know the trans daughter.
Oh
thing.
yeah,
you were doing kind of a list and saying you had a trans daughter. I thought you were just being gay. I wasn't really sure what it was until you went there because I don't know all the legend and lore of his children.
The only reason I know the lore about his daughter is there was a guy named Lloyd Banks who was on and was trying to make fun of trans people, and Mike Tyson shut him down, and Lloyd went, "What are you gonna do?" And then Mike just looked at him, and the guy shut up. And somebody asked him about that and was like, "What was that all about?" He's like, "What was that about? My daughter's built like me. She was in the booth. She was about to kill this motherfucker. I had to step in before she did." So anyway, I think we've learned an important lesson today, which is if you keep running your mouth, somebody's gonna punch you in the face.
I mean, not always, barely ever.
Yeah, it doesn't.
To be honest, that's not the lesson. Like, it barely ever happens.
Your dad too. I forgot that part. If you keep talking shit, somebody's gonna punch your dad in the face.
Well, no. If you keep talking shit, someone's dad is gonna punch your dad in the face.
Oh,
you're not even involved. I mean, that's the thing. It really did become the "my dad can beat up your dad" thing from like the 50s. But it was like, but it wasn't. It was like my dad and his uncles can beat up your dad. I don't get why the uncles had to be involved. You teach you a lesson of grouping up. So if I'm a 7-year-old and I see this in my little 7-year-old brain's trying to think what the lesson is, it is, oh, I should get my friends to beat her up now.
That's a great lesson.
But then who beats up that group now when they go around and become a gang? You have to get a bigger gang now to beat up that group because they're not going to just do it once and go. They're going to become hive mentality. Then now they've got like power. Then the little girl feels like she's got the most power because her dad set this thing up. So that she starts being mean to them. It breaks off into a Sharks and Jets scenario. You got little mini fights happening all over the fucking school. No one's learned anymore. And China wins. God damn it. China wins.
I mean, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, uncles, Terry. He said brothers, right? You would think that if it's his brothers, they are her uncle, right? Isn't that how that works?
I think he was saying a lot of.
I know.
Oh.
I didn't know, Bobby.
I didn't know you knew that.
I'm really trying to not lean there at the first story of the morning. So I'm saying that they are uncles.
I mean, that's definitely possible too. You asked why there needed to be more than one. I like to think he needed a ride. He was
Several
like,
rides?
Hey, yo, I gotta beat up this girl's dad. Can you give me a ride? Yeah, I'll be right there. And then the car broke down. Hey, Timmy, we're going to beat up this girl's dad. Can you give us a ride? Then he popped the tire, and by the time you show up, you got 6 dudes deep ready to fight.
Well, I also like, Bobby, if that is your scenario, then you have to keep that scenario for after the fight where it's like, Hey, before you drive me home, can I cut a quick video over TikTok in your car?
No, I'm gonna sit in Tim's. He has a nicer whip than you for this
Jesus
TikTok video.
Okay. This one caught my eye this morning. Now, what's today's date, Bobby?
Today is May 17th.
Right. Today, as far as you know, is May 17th any kind of wacky day, like a day where you lie to people like April Fool's Day?
No, why?
Because I usually go for my stories in the New York Post. And yes, the New York Post, I go for that because they have crazier stories. But there was 2 or 3 where I'm like, did the Onion take over? Is it hard times now writing for them? Is this the Babylon Bee? Like, I'm going to read this and you tell me how this is. Doesn't sound like something that would be in the Onion. McDonald's adds sad option to replace Happy Meal smile.
That sounds like a fake story.
That's the article beginning. No need to turn that frown upside down. In honor of Mental Health Awareness Week, McDonald's is acknowledging that sometimes a happy meal is actually a sad meal. TMZ reported Wednesday that the UK division of the company is emphasizing mental health from May 13th to 19th with a major rebrand of their iconic Happy Meal, dropping the smile from the box and the happy from the menu item. It's just a red fucking box, dude. It's a red box. Now, if you want, they give you stickers with different, like almost Mr. Potato Head. Like there's a smile one, there's like a wacky, there's like a mustache thing, there's a frown you can turn around to that you can put on the box, but it's just the red box from there. People in the UK who want to order the beloved item will be ordering the meal and will receive a plain red container with a small reminder on the bottom that it's okay not to feel happy all the time. If you're just trying to like get the next person, if you're in a meeting at work and you're like, how do we get people just to kill themselves in our work? So, because I mentioned somebody working there was like, I really want a day off, but McDonald's never closes, man. We're open all the time. We're a 24/7 McDonald's. You know, they did say that if someone kills themselves here at a McDonald's, they have to close down for a couple hours. Ooh, you want to make a Happy Meal sad? You want to tell people it's okay to end your life here while the ice cream machine's down? Because that's what's going to happen here. Look, Jesus Christ. The Plus Link redesign comes from Leo Burnett, UK, and Ready 10 in an effort to reflect the results of a study showing that 48% of kids in the UK feel pressured to be happy all the time. Now, do you think from your story, do you think that father bought the sad meal for his fucking daughter after he got his ass kicked? He's like, you don't get a Happy Meal. Here's the meal.
The other dad.
He's not handing him anything. His hands are broken.
Yeah, no, I'm saying the other dad handed it to her and was like, sorry, you're sad. Sorry, I beat up your dad. Here's a meal that reflects your mood right now.
Right. Well, he has 2 of them, but he takes the stickers out. He puts the sad sticker on the one for the girl whose dad got beat up and a happy one to his own daughter.
Honestly, maybe she'd get the message then.
McDonald's distributed 2.5 million not-so-happy meals to over 1,000 locations in the UK, and some locations also received a range of emotion stickers for kids to replace the iconic smile with another emotion of their choosing. We know how important it is to stimulate open conversation about mental health in families, Louise Page, McDonald's head of consumer communications and partnerships, said. Through this change to our Happy Meal box, we hope many more families are encouraged to kickstart positive conversations around children's emotions and well-being. Who's the piece of shit in this story? Is it McDonald's for having a mental health awareness sad meal week or whatever they're calling it, the meal? You're overthinking all this shit. Once again, the programming of the kids thing, and I've never been that person, and I'm never the one that ever said that, whatever. I don't like. But your story about, hey, how do we teach a mentality, mom mentality? Let's teach kids right away from an early age. If you don't get what you want, we beat the shit out of you. Now we're saying, like, listen, if you're sad as a child, it's not just that you're sad or having a tantrum or just a day. It's got to be mental health because sometimes a kid's just sad because they didn't get to watch the show they wanted, or because their mom says, "Can you poop on a toilet? You're 5 now." And they're like, sometimes I can't, and then they're sad because they're being called a loser and they can't do it. And then so now all of a sudden their dinner has to be sad and they have to be made aware of mental health aware. They're not having mental health problems. They're being a child. They're going to get a toy in a box from shit food. You're worried about your kid's mental health? Don't feed them McDonald's every fucking day. It's a depressant. It fucking beats up. Everything in there makes you fucking sad. You're eating all this grease and filled shit. You're not going to be smiling no matter what, happy or sad meal. It's dumb. is in the UK, always doing dumb shit. At least it wasn't America doing this because they couldn't. They'd have to have like a trans meal, and they'd have to have like they instead of a Happy Meal, a handy wheel that would have like wheels on it. It rolls over. It has a ramp. It slides down into your mouth. They would have to have all exclusive for everybody, so they wouldn't have that thing. Is it the people that the young Korean children who obviously make the Snickers in the boxes for McDonald's Corporation in their country who don't get a Happy Meal or a sad meal? They get no meal, but they have to make like we have a new one now. It's like, oh, are the children sad in the American and other white countries? Because my fingers are bleeding from making this. What is a happiness? I've never heard of a happiness. Who's the piece of shit in this story?
Oh, so many pieces of shit in the story. For starters, let's start with McDick's. I'm at your store. I don't need a meal to let you know I'm sad. I'm ordering McDonald's. That should be indicator enough life is not going the way I wanted it to. Then we've got the UK. Okay? Of course everybody's depressed in your shitty ass country. You're one letter away from being yuck. Nobody wants to live there. It's gray and rainy the whole time. You guys were a bunch of inbred retards because you're on an island. Your leader, the monarchy, is literally just a family who kept fucking their cousins. Like, you know where else we got a monarchy? West Virginia. So suck my dick, UK. Who else is bad in this? My main shit would...
one S and it suck.
Exactly.
Why is US?
One F and it's what? Fuck this, as in let's not go to this. Let's find a better destination. But for me, the biggest
and one C, and you're a cuck because you're just watching your wife get banged by McDonald's employees, and you got a sad meal.
Oh God! But for me, the biggest piece of shit in this story would probably be Burger King, because you know what's a sad meal? What I ordered last night at 12:30 in the morning, and then puked up at 5 o'clock in the morning, and haven't stopped shitting since. That's a sad meal.
What did you get?
I got a Whopper, the chicken wrap, and fries. That's it.
Did you get that? What, like Uber Eats? Did you go? Or...
I drove. I have a
you
car.
drove there because
it does have a
because
giant
I
number
also
2 den on it.
weird, and this is very weird and showing how great our podcast is going. I also had Burger King last night, which is very strange. I don't usually get Burger King. We both had Burger King, but on the Uber Eats they had a buy one get one of the double cheeseburger. And I was like, oh, so there you go. It was a nice little deal. No, I had not been throwing up or feeling bad, so that must just be your location that has shit, and not just all the Burger Kings. But either way, the piece of shit story to me is McDonald's for trying to get on board with Mental Health Week. Like, if there's one business that's never really cared about the mental health of children, ever, it's McDonald's. You've made a fantasy world of a crazy ass clown, a big fat purple piece of shit, a criminal who steals your burgers, chicken nugget freaks. Like everything they've always had is just like these scary goddamn options. The amount of celebrities that ended up going to jail that have done McDonald's commercials is insane. Go look that up sometime. The food they put out there and try to have to eat is the way they've changed fast food, where it's not even food anymore. It's ridiculous how they're doing the same way they would do with food, sending it to space, and they're giving it to you. And now they're charging a lot of it. It used to be at least be cheap, whatever. Now it's expensive. They're doing so many things to make you sad. When you realize you can't afford like a McDonald's meal anymore like you used to because you're poor, but now you're even too poor for McDonald's, that makes you sad. You don't need to now go in and go, how's my mood? How's my mood today? They're like, hey child, is your mood okay? I know we're gonna get you what's the toy? A razor blade? Like, what do you get as the toy now? Is the sad meal still get a toy? Because if you're sad, you're not getting a toy. Is it a blanket? Is it a heavy those like 10-pound blankets? You get one of those to put on for a fucking nap because you're sad after your stupid milkshake? It's retarded that you're literally going to give a sad meal because it's okay to be sad. I don't need a lesson from McDonald's. If a little kid and I'm reading the side of the box and I get that and I turn. Okay, so Bobby, I'm going to put you in this scenario. You've had a child, you never got married, you get custody of your kid every weekend. So you've been out, you've been doing your comedy shows on Friday night, you were out a little too late, you pick up your kid early in the morning, you're like, I got a little bit of a hangover, but I want to see the kids, so I'm going to bring my kid to McDonald's. I'll get a coffee and eat a cheese biscuit, whatever it is, just to fucking feel a little better and let my kid get what they want. So you're sitting there and you're half paying attention. Your kid's like, and Dad, Mommy's new friend said it's okay if I ride his pony. You're like, what the fuck? You're like, oh, never mind. It's okay. He's a good guy, whatever. It's fine. And then you're trying to like quiet, whatever. And she's like, she starts reading out loud. She's going, It's okay to be sad sometimes. And you don't realize she's reading the box, and you think that your daughter now understands how sad you are because you're alone. And then why did mommy get to be with somebody right away? Why? Because women are more desirable than men are, so men will do anything to be with a woman. And a man, I'm just alone, and I'm trying to be a good dad as your mom's getting plowed in a bed that I didn't buy it, but I did help you lease it from fucking Rent-A-Center, so why do I get the fuck on that bed? And then you're like, oh, I am sad. You're like, why? Do I seem sad? And she's like, I'm reading. You just realize McDonald's is just telling you something. McDonald's is parenting my daughter better than I am with a simple message. Is I'm sitting here ignoring my child, and you look at your child's been gone. They're playing in the balls for 4 fucking minutes. So it's McDonald's. Fuck you getting involved in parenting. Have a link in there that says, if you or someone you know, whatever, go to this website, but don't change the meal, because most kids are like, I just want to be happy. I don't care what it's called. Give me nuggets, bitch.
In that scenario, my daughter's going to get a life lesson, much like the little girl in our first story. It's going to be confusing. You're not going to understand why people are getting beat up, but there's going to be a fight.
There's going to be bloodshed.
I do like to think that McDonald's was like, should we make our food healthier? No, let's just make it mentally healthier, where we offer a sad option.
And we literally, was it Wednesday, covered the story, and I know it's the American one, but it might be all over, that McDonald's is now taking away free refills. That's the sad meal. Like, so if you watch their option, they're like, hey, listen, you know how you go there and you get a free drink? Once again, a lot of that's for the parents. When you have this, especially when they have like the playscapes and stuff like that, and you're sitting there and your kid wants to play for a half hour. So what do? You bring a book, you do whatever, you sit in the room, you let your kid play, but you go refill the soda or the coffee or the whatever a couple times. Now you got to bring your kid there and pay for that. You're better off going to a Chuck E. Cheese or somewhere else where you're like, fuck it, I'll just be able to buy things, but at least it'll be more fun. I can do something than just sit in this goddamn McDonald's. That's this. Now, so how's that feel? Now you got to talk to your kid about mental health when they're like 6, because they just want to. I just want the other blue. I want the Bluey toy. Why can't I have the other Bluey toy? Well, because everyone's Bluey today. We're all sad. Someone's gonna Bluey their head off because they're so sad they went to McDonald's and now they're fucking real sad. Now, here's a Kurt Cobain Happy Meal kit. You just a gun and a woman who says she didn't do it and fries. That's what you get. It's
also like,
don't need this.
Why are they not teaching real mental health lessons?
Like what?
Like, okay, yes, it is okay to be sad sometimes. ... If you're a woman.
Oh, Jesus. Why? Why can't you be sad as a man?
Like, good news, if you're a man and you show any sign of weakness, everybody in your life will run away from you. They will all abandon you and call you a pussy. You are not allowed to show even the slightest crack in your hard exterior if you're a man. It's called alcohol, weed, and nicotine. Get used to it. That's life from here on out, buddy. Girls, be sad. Guys will try to take care of you. It's okay.
Bobby just made a scenario where Bobby and all men are raised in Aberdeen, Texas in 1977. You gotta be the toughest hombre of all times. There ain't no, listen, steers aren't queers, are they? No, but neither are you. Eat your McDonald's. It's like, pop, stop being gay.
It's okay to be sad. In parentheses, we don't really mean you men.
But it's only okay to be sad for this week? Is that also the message? It's mental health week. So like next week when you just get the regular Happy Meal, it's like, and the kid's like starts crying and dad goes, did the box tell you can be sad now? What did the box say now, stupid? Shut up. I want to be here either. I tried to pull out. Your mom held my hips and now you're here. Fuck that. You want to talk about a sad box? Your mom's got a sad box.
I was going to say, that is a good lesson. Sometimes the box does make you sad, son. Sometimes the box will make you sad.
But sometimes the box makes you happy.
Oh, sometimes the box will make you real happy.
Bobby, if that was a thing, if McDonald's gave you like a thing for your one night stands where it's just a thing of stickers, so when you're done, you and the girl both get to put a sticker on the other person of how it made you feel afterwards. So either a happy smiley face, or so you think you did a good job, and the girl puts a sad frowning face over your face. Or the O face would be good. You pop that right on there, like, oh, like, oh, you like that shit? Yeah.
You wake up in the morning, you see the girl, you take the mouth and just flip it from a smile to a sad face. You're like, I was a little drunker than I thought last night.
Dude, if you know, it's not legal for prostitution, but it's illegal. It's legal now. For some reason to be an escort as long as you like word it right and do whatever. They
Yeah.
should have one where it's just people that are like men and women both who have been institutionalized, but then have come out, but now they sell sex. It would be the mental health box would be the perfect name for that site.
Oh, I like that.
You can order what you want, whatever meal you want. Would you order a sad? But see, to me, as much as we're making fun of it, if that was available in America, I would go. And I don't even have kids who buy it anymore. I would definitely go ask for the sad meal, just because it's hilarious.
I mean, kind of, yeah, but also
What's in it though?
it's the same shit.
It can't be though. Because if I'm sad, I don't want some plastic car that pushes. They're shit toys. If I'm sad, I need something better. Like the location of your father, like that'd be nice. Where's my dad? In the box, it tells you it's like, oh, he's with white women in Jersey. It's like, oh, okay. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Then you're
Dad's
happy.
living the dream.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe a sad box is just like a basketball or a football. That's a toy you get because they're like, you're not happy, but you're gonna be a hell of an athlete.
Yeah. It's like, oh, you wait till you listen, little girl. Someday your songs will be so big that people will call themselves Swifties and love the songs you do. Don't worry. That's how you, whenever you have any kind of sadness or someone hurts you just a little bit, just write a mean song about them and make billions of dollars.
Do you ever think about this? Maybe he's the reason for the teardrops on your guitar.
Oh, maybe there are no more tears in heaven. Maybe if you close your window, Mr. Eric Clapton, just close it just a little bit. Your kid wouldn't have fallen out the window box. You wouldn't have a sad box.
Do you think he returned home with a Happy Meal for that kid and was like, "Where's the baby?" And that's when the idea got born. That's not a Happy Meal. This is a sad meal.
No, I wouldn't know your name. I was a baby. I don't know anybody's fucking name. I'm a stupid baby. You know what I don't know? Gravity, because I tried to walk out a window.
Unlike that Lindenberg baby, who understood gravity but didn't understand cocaine dealers. We would have traded those two.
If you're a Lindenberg baby, the first thing you should be thinking about is what's up with cocaine dealers. You know what I mean? You should know your role already, like in that thing. You know, like what's like Casey Anthony's baby. Like, all right, you know what I mean? You know your mom's fucking nuts. You're hanging out with her all the time. You should be like, hey, bring me to McDonald's, and you get a sad box and then put a note back and give it back and be like, help,
please. This bitch is gonna leave me in a car.
They have the kidnap box. It's kind of hard to get the kidnapper to order that for you, though. But you're like, can I get the kidnap box? So when you get that box, it says, that way it tells the people at McDonald's, you've been kidnapped. If you see them with that box, you show it in the window. It's like, yeah, that'd be fun, though, because if they did have that box, like that's what they should do. Not only mental health, but do for other things, too. If you're in danger, there's another sticker that you put on the box to show out the window so people know you're in danger. But if you ever want to fuck with your parents, you just put that thing on there and the cops come. It's like, she's an asshole kid. It's like, well, then you get your uncle and brothers to beat the shit out of them. Don't involve us.
You know, at least once or twice this week, a kid's going to run into a McDonald's like, help, this guy's kidnapped me. I've been brutally molested. And they're like, easy, Timmy. Great vocabulary for a 5-year-old, but you don't have to pretend to get the sad box. You can just get a sad meal.
Dude, what's even worse is that all these kids whose parents are like, we can't afford therapy. It's like, well, I can't wait till McDonald's has their mental health week so I can go talk to those employees about my problems. And all these kids are just lined up waiting. And the dad's like, you got an hour, Timmy. The fry guy's going to talk to you. He's like, what? He's like, it's mental health week. Aren't you going to be here and talk to us? I'm like, no. We're just going to change the smile to a frown on the box. No, but by the way, I know it's saying iconic, but when I was a kid, if you got the red box, that meant like you were at a shitty McDonald's because the box usually had like a bunch of you would turn it around, there'd be like a puzzle, and then there'd be like a game. Yeah, and fold it in, you could do all that shit. And if it was a theme thing like Transformers or GoBots or some bullshit like that, you saw all that kind of stuff on there too. If I just get a red box, I'm like, fuck all. I want fun on that box.
I like that when you asked me about putting me into the situation, like I got a kid. That's exactly how you would end up at McDonald's this week. They'd be like, can we go to therapy? I'd be like, you know what? You want to go see a therapist? That's the rapist. I got something way better.
Yeah.
It's McDonald's.
Listen, are you feeling sad? You know what helps? Dopamine. You want to let's just eat a bunch of fucking salty fries and you'll feel better for a little bit, then you'll fucking nap, then daddy can jerk off in the other room.
then he can nap, and then maybe mommy
He
will
can
come
nap
back.
too, yeah, because that'll knock me the fuck out. Hey, look, you have your milkshake. I have melatonin. Like, let's drink these together.
And when daddy sleeps, he doesn't forget mommy's gone. It's a win-win.
Story. No better words to wrap up that segment than everyone wants fun on the box.
Yes, they do.
Stupid UK people. All right. What do you got, Bobby?
So, French police fatally
Boo.
shoot a.
We are the police.
We're getting there. Don't
Does
worry.
the horn do that?
French police fatally shoot a man suspected of setting a fire to a synagogue. French police shot and killed a man armed with a knife and a metal bar who is suspected of having set a fire to a synagogue in the Normandy city of Rouen early on Friday, the latest apparent act in a storm of anti-Semitism roiling France amid the Israel-Hamas war. Fire services were alerted Friday morning to the blaze at the synagogue. Police officers who deployed discovered the man on the roof of the building, clutching the metal bar in one hand and the kitchen knife in the other, and smoke rising from the synagogue's windows. He said the man hurled abuse and threw the metal bar at police before jumping off the roof and then running at one of the officers with his knife raised. The officers fired 5 shots, hitting the man 4 times, fatally wounding him. Who's the piece of shit in this story, Pat? Is it?
Why? Why this story?
Hang on. You'll understand in a second. Is it?
Isn't it fun?
Yeah, it is.
I avoid the murder ones all the time. I can just guy kills 7 people. Who's the piece of shit in the story?
No, he didn't kill 7 people. He got shot after trying to light a synagogue on fire.
No,
So who's the
guy lights synagogue on fire. Who's the wacky culprit?
who's the piece of shit in this story? Is it the guy?
Is it Hitler for killing all the Jews?
Well, hang on,
Jews
hang
for being
on.
too Jewish.
Is it him? Is it the French police for like, oh, now we're going to stand up to Nazism? 80 years later, we're going to put up a stand, French people? You waited long enough. Last time, you just let them waltz right through and kill all the Jews. This time, we're like, no, now we have a backbone. Let's shoot some of these bad people. Is it the dude who lit the synagogue on fire? All right, you're going to make a political point. You don't have to burn shit down. But at the same time, is it the police officers who shot him because he was sitting on the roof yelling insults at him? Or is it the police officer who shot him? Now, I get it. He was charging at you with a knife. But in this guy's defense, this is what he was looking at.
Okay, so we got. It's not video, is it?
No.
All right. We're not going to show a guy get shot, are we?
No, just look at this dude on the right
dude?
here. The
Okay.
dude who looks like he has no business being a cop. Big A's French brother, Pat. The
You
guy
ever
who,
see the movie Mallrats?
yes,
He looks like the guy who stares at the fucking picture.
1,000,000%. I could not agree with you more. Like, if this is the police officer I'm dealing with, I'm okay. I'm not too stressed. I will do whatever I want in France. No wonder all the people are fucking stabby, takey, takey.
Is the piece of shit Terry Nee? I thought that was taken care of. Oh, fucking Jesus. I don't know, Bobby, who the piece of shit in the French people attacking a synagogue and cops. First of all, I guess the piece of shit is everyone who says American cops are the only ones that shoot people. Because look at this, surprise, surprise, cops from somewhere else have guns now. Because that's the problem. Finally, they got guns. Because if you ever watch like an English problem, like we were watching a documentary the other day on like Wembley Stadium, the time that they had like the Euro Cup there, and then all the people wanted to go. They were drinking for 18 hours, and they just bust in and smashed around, and like all the people without tickets went in there, and they started beating the shit out of everybody else. The security and the police officers really couldn't do anything because all they have is like little sticks. And in their dumb hats, and they can't do anything. But if you had like a gun, you just shot it once, everyone stops doing shit because you have a gun. So it's that. Okay, but truthfully, the piece of shit is you. We're doing fun stories. You're like, you know what's gonna be fun? the synagogue and then the fucking lighting it on fire and killing a guy. Someone died.
I mean, yeah, the reason I chose this story for me is the piece of shit's France.
Why is France the piece of shit? All France?
I mean,
Everyone
anybody,
in France. The entire country of France.
anybody
Even
I've
the
ever
people
met,
who work at the La Bibliothèque.
that's Spanish.
No, how dare you? La Bibliothèque is not Spanish.
La Biblioteca?
I didn't say Did I say at the end?
Oh, so they just
La
ripped off
Bibliothèque.
Spanish. Even more than
You-
French.
Ready?
You just lazy Spanish speakers.
Je m'appelle la bibliothèque. I am the library. My name is the library. I learned that in French class in 7th grade. And they're like, you should leave the room. Your name is not the library. You got to go.
But I've got all the books.
Yes, I did, Stormy.
I just, for me, if you wanted to make your big stand about, standing up for Jewish people, you could have done it when the king, like, it's almost like if David didn't kill Goliath, but he waited 80 years, and then like that 7-year-old showed up, and instead of slinging a rock and hitting her dad, he just killed her, and then went, "I did it, folks. Lesson learned."
I feel like you told us that first story. Not because the story was good, it's because you want to be able to use that as your defense for every other story going forward in our lives. It's like everything's gonna end up with, but seriously, if there's a problem, just get your dad and his brothers to beat the shit out of someone. Lesson learned.
I mean, I can't say you're wrong. Do you think going forward I will probably reference this story a decent amount, but only because I think it's hilarious that, like, that's where we're at as a society.
So so it's France to you, all of France.
Mainly that cop. Like,
Oh,
if
yes.
you're gonna be a cop, you should look like a cop.
Well,
If you
our
hadn't
cops
looked
don't
like,
look like cops.
for the most part, they do.
No,
We've
dude,
got
we have a lot of fat
DEI.
cops. You see, I know you're in New York, so they have people in New York that want to look a little better, so it's there. But you go to most of this country, cops are fucking sloppy pieces of shit because nobody really wants to be a cop anymore because of all the bad publicity and whatever. So you're just getting the people who don't even want. People want to be at Walmart before they want to be a cop.
Well, I mean, like, I guess that's true too.
You know what I
just
mean?
don't-
They're all sloppy fat fucks.
Now we got to listen to these French people acting like they did something. I don't know.
There was a man. He was at the mosque. You can't make fun of Mohammed. You make fun of him in the magazine and boop boop boop. So you got to be careful. So we just shoot.
Yeah, that's France, isn't it? I forgot about that. Charlie Hebdo.
Mhm.
God,
We
I
do
wonder
that,
what
Charlie, whatever. Shoot. Pepe la pew 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 pew. That's they should call that cop. If the New York Post covered that, it'd be Pepe la pew 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 because he shot people.
I like that a lot.
Bobby, can you do a quick plug while I grab coffee quick?
Yeah, absolutely. I can do a quick plug. You guys can see me this Friday helping my brother out because his 7-year-old daughter's been bullied. So we will be at Vermont beating up somebody else's dad. But if you actually want to see me do comedy, June 14th, Emaw Theater, July 15th, Bijou Theater. I will maybe have something coming up in between then with the lovely Mr. Oates. But if you want to see more of this and you're like, boy, this seems a little tame compared to what I was normally expecting out of a podcast, head over to the Patreon. That's where anything flies. That's the POS show, thepatreon.com. And check that out. Subscribe. We just, according to Pat, pre-show updated all of our tiers. They have fun new names. And welcome back, Mr. Oates.
Yeah, they're almost done with all the names, but yeah, the tiers there and now broken down in the tiers of what you're getting exactly with each thing. So basically, everyone that's already got the lower tier is going to get everything we offer except for one thing. So if you're, and we changed the name. Before it was like kind of like more about me, but I want to be more about the show, the tiers. So you're a POS if you're joining the $3 tier, and you're going to be a Special Olympic Hall of Famer if you do the $10 tier. Now, if you do the $10 tier, everything you get at the POS, and I don't do a whole infomercial, we're not Kevin Hart here, but you know what you get with the Patreon. Go over there and sign up. You do get a lot of bonus episodes. You do get replays before anybody else's shows and stuff like that. There's a Thursday and Tuesday exclusive show, all that kind of stuff. But if you get the $10 tier, you also, whenever you would like, as long as we have, we're doing a show and you want to do it, and it can be more than one person, you can be on the Tuesday POS morning show. That's the exclusive one as a guest anytime you would like. If you're a $10, all you have to do is say, "Hey, I want to be on the Tuesday show," and you're on that show. Now, if your schedule doesn't work for Tuesdays in that way, we will get you on another one, but it will be based on when we have other guests and stuff. We're going to keep that open, so anyone wants to come on and tell their own POS stories, or just jump in and be one of the people answering it, or just sit along right there on the screen and not really say much. It's something you'll get by being a $10 member. So we appreciate you guys all signing up and doing that. Go check out the new shows. We had a lot of good content this week.
We did. We even got into, I don't know if you saw this, Pat, just really quickly. Did you notice that the world has found our butt kicker story
What do you mean?
about him telling women to stay in the kitchen?
Oh, it's all over. But even our former guest talked about it.
Oh, who was that?
Andrew Pollack had a very funny I forgot what it was, but Andrew Pollack had it with his Facebook status yesterday. Was pretty funny about it. I forget what it was.
Hell yeah, we did it. We broke that story to the world. Clearly, that's all
Nice.
because of what we did.
Oh, you want to keep being sad? All right, do you want sad or you want weird?
I usually like them combined, so I'll let you choose.
All right,
You know what?
let's-
I'm going to go get a sad meal after this. Let's be sad.
Okay, that works. Physically healthy Dutch woman, Zaraya Terbeek, 29 years old, granted euthanasia approval over her severe depression. Dude, somebody needs a Happy Meal.
Oof.
The young, physically healthy Dutch woman who decided to be euthanized because of her crippling depression has been granted approval to end her life. Officials in the Netherlands gave the final approval for Zaraya Terbeek, 29, to die by assisted suicide on the grounds of unbearable mental suffering, according to The Guardian. Terbeek first applied for assisted suicide in 2020, following battles with depression and suicidal thoughts caused by difficulties in her early childhood. The once aspiring physicist suffers from chronic depression, anxiety, trauma, borderline personality disorder, and was diagnosed with autism. Terbeek believed that the safe environment her partner offered would help her mentally heal, but it didn't, and she reportedly continued to have suicidal thoughts and self-harmed. She hit back at critics saying her wanting to die was just because of her mental illness. People think that when you're mentally ill, you can't think straight, which is insulting, she said. I understand the fears that some disabled people have about assisted dying and worries about people being under pressure to die. But in the Netherlands, we had this law for more than 20 years. They are really strict rules, and it's really safe. Terbeek has thought about her decision throughout the long process, which takes years to complete. In the 3.5 years this has been taken, I've never hesitated about my decision. I feel guilt. I felt guilt. I have a partner, family, friends. I'm not blind to the pain. I've been scared. I'm absolutely determined to go through it, she said. For a person to be considered eligible for assisted suicide, there must be deemed to be experiencing unbearable suffering with no prospect of improving, according to Dutch law. Or they get put in the Dutch oven. Hey-o. But the patient must also be completely informed and competent for the final process to be installed. It's a long and complicated process. It's not like you ask for assisted dying on a Monday and you're dead by Friday, which, by the way, is a wacky quote to say in this thing. I was on a waiting list for assessment for a long time because there are so few doctors willing to be involved in assisted dying for people with mental suffering, she added. Really? A lot of doctors don't want to have that on their fucking resume.
On their conscience.
A patient requesting to be euthanized must be evaluated by a team of physicians, have a second opinion on eligibility, then the whole case has to be reviewed by a third independent doctor. Every doctor at every stage says, "Are you sure? You can stop at any point." My partner has been in the room for most of the conversation in order to support me, but several times he has been asked to leave so the doctors can be sure I'm speaking freely. Okay, we'll get to that part in a second. It'd be crazy if some guy's like, "Hey, you should kill yourself. Let's go to the doctor and see what he says."
No, she wants to be dead. She's thought about it really hard, Doc. She does not want to be here anymore. She wants me to go bang that redhead who lives next door.
She's so wrapped up in it. She's going to tell you different stuff. She's confused. You know, that's what you do. You're confused before you kill yourself. Why don't we just kill the doc? You know what I'm saying?
She's a dumb, dizzy broad. Just take it out of her hands.
Like last night when I was trying to sleep, she was coughing. I think she should die. Like I couldn't sleep through that. She's like, I'm like, oh, that'll be good. You can never make that noise again. Let's go to the doctor. Let's go. People say don't do it. Your life is precious. I know that. Others said that they had a cure, like a special diet or drugs. Some told me to find Jesus or Allah, or told me I'd burn in hell. It was a total shitstorm. I couldn't handle all the negativity. Tariq expects to die in the coming weeks following a meeting with her medical team. Medical team? But what? You don't really need a team to keep someone dead. Like, you need a team to keep you alive. There are people battling real diseases trying to stay alive. This bitch needs a team to tell her not to live?
It's just one doctor who injects her in Rick Grimes with a crossbow in case she comes back.
On the day of her death, her medical team will visit her at her home, begin the process by giving her a sedative, and once she is in a coma, Tariq will be given the drugs that stop her heart. For me, it'll be like falling asleep. My partner will be there, but I've told him it's okay if he needs to leave the room before the moment of death, she said. Now that the point has come, we're ready for it, and we're finding a certain peace. I feel guilty too, but sometimes when you love someone, you have to let them go. Who is the piece of shit in this story? Is it a woman that, listen, says life is so hard and so tough that she went through a 3.5-year paperwork process to kill herself? That's insane. I don't know if she knows this, but you can kill yourself for free whenever you want. You know, I like that she's doing the legal process of killing herself. I don't know if she's heard there's a thing called suicide. But she's like, I want to kill myself, but I'm lazy. Can you guys do it? Don't be too lazy to kill yourself. That's crazy. Is it her? Is it her partner? Break up with her. This is crazy. You're going with her to the euthanasia things?
Yeah, how do you think that's going to go?
Sad.
How do you reckon that's going to turn out if you break up with this sad bitch?
Bobby, probably great. Probably wonderful. Because then maybe she'll think about someone else's feelings for a goddamn minute rather than ask your boyfriend to go with you. Listen, if you're dating someone, they're like, hey, you want to come with me to the dentist? I don't like the dentist. And you sit in the lobby and you hang out with them. That's support. But if you're like, hey, you know how you're my partner and everyone knows we're together? Will you want to come with me publicly and talk about the newspaper about how I want to kill myself and life is awful? You know, and you're the person I supposedly love and spend all my time with? Let's go to the doctors so you can hear about how much I hate my fucking life and I wish I wasn't here anymore, but then I just hang out with you all the time.
But you're great.
Jesus fucking Christ. Cut him off. And the guy's still going because he's like, well, I don't know why he's going, because I guess sometimes in bad relationships, somebody will be like, if you leave me, I'll kill myself. Yeah, and she's like, if you leave me, if you stay with me, I'll kill myself. Like, so what? What is he doing? Stop going. Stop going to the doctor's office. Isn't the doctors, the medical teams in Norway going, we have a procedure we do. Dude, they are geniuses. I don't know what their healthcare is all about, but they're obviously getting them a lot of money to fucking talk to this lady for 3.5 years because there's a process to say I don't want to live anymore. You just unplug one thing. You're not living anymore. Is it Norway and Denmark, where the fuck this is from, for like saying like, no, this is the way we handle our suicides, you know, through a nice, fun 3.5-year process of paperwork. You do paperwork to kill yourself? How about a noose and a fucking stool? That's in the words of Norm Macdonald, all you need is a rickety stool. Go to the rickety stool store and fall off there. Who's the piece of shit? Or is it McDonald's for not putting a place in Norway to make sure this girl knows that it's Mental Health Week and you get a sad box and you're fine? Who's the piece of shit in the story?
Oh man, it's not him. It's not the boyfriend or
no, it's not the boyfriend at all.
I mean, he's in an awkward position. Like, I think the best thing, you know, when a girl is like, if you break up with me, I'll kill myself, but I got to see other people too. The best thing you can do is go to Jamaica and wait for her apartment to burn down so she leaves you very slowly. That's the best way to get out of one of those toxic situations where you're like, if I end this, she's going to kill herself, but if I stay, it's going to kill me.
For those new to the show, it's been a while since Bobby's brought up his own personal shit in the middle of a story about sadness. But right.
It's been a while. I mean, if you watch this show back, it's been sprinkled throughout the whole time today. But the second one.
By the way, for everyone watching, like, why is there all these stories about depression? Well, this is my way of saying to Bobby, I'm here.
The main piece of shit in this story, this is going to shock you, Pat.
Oh yeah, is it the woman?
It's the woman, dude.
Yeah. Are you always gonna say it's the woman? Yeah, you are.
No, but in this particular instance, like you've just demonstrated one of the most negative side effects of suicide, which is how it affects all the people in your life, right? Like your partner has to be there and be like, I support her decision to opt for self, even though he doesn't. The only reason he does that is because he does want to bang the neighbor. Like you got to go to doctors for 4 years. The government already wants to kill you. Don't make it legal. Like let's not give them ways to do it legally. They're already trying. So when you hit the nail on the head of like this could have been over and done with 3.5 years ago, if you catch my drift. Like this problem could have been rectified. It would have hurt, but it would have ripped the band-aid off. Instead, what this bitch has done has been slowly slit her wrist and then bled out over 3.5 years.
Yeah. And then the partner would have to sit there and hold the wrist.
Yeah, exactly. It's so fucking nuts.
Now, to me, the piece of shit is the partner. Now, we're saying boyfriend automatically. They haven't said man or woman, so we don't know. They're saying partner, so who knows? But I think I just assume. So sorry for fucking assuming if it's a lesbo, but whatever. In the wordage we're doing boyfriend. But it's him. Because here's how I feel this conversation went down. She was like going through some shit. You know what I mean? She's sharing some things in her life. She's saying I had a tough child, all that. And she's like, I don't know. Sometimes I just want to kill myself. And then what is he saying in a situation? Because he's not prepared for that kind of thing. He doesn't know how to be supportive. And he just tries to do what he sees the TV tells. What does the TV tell you to do? What do the newspapers tell you to do? Listen, if you feel like you need, you feel like life, should be lived and this and that, whatever, please seek medical help or advice. So he probably said, hey, you should talk to a doctor. I'll go with you. But he didn't say you should talk to the doctor about how you shouldn't die. He just said you should talk to a doctor. And she's like, oh, great, you're on board. So then they go to the doctors and they're sitting in the meeting. She goes, oh, you can come in, it's fine. And she turns to the doctor and goes, yeah, I want to kill myself. And I was talking to my boyfriend. And then the doctor's like, oh, and he told you shouldn't kill yourself and you were precious and beautiful and we need you. I was like, no. He just said I should talk to you about getting the process started. So where do we start? And then the guy's like, wait, what? I didn't say it. Well, you said that I said I want to kill myself. And you said we should talk to a doctor. Now you're going to tell me that I don't even understand how we talk? Is our communication bad? I felt like finally somebody gets me. Someone understands I don't want to be alive. Someone who I spend my life with and says I love you till death do us part. I guess you didn't realize that means 3.5 years from now. So it's going to be fine. So why don't you just support me when I want to kill myself? Can't I just ask for that? No one else lets me kill myself. Somebody let me kill myself. Here's what happened. The day it happens, it's going to be the greatest reveal of like a punked or a Brent show. Surprise. I was never going to kill myself. I just want to see how long you go. You're a great boyfriend. You were with me the whole way through. I love you. Let's have kids. You're like, holy shit. You push her off a cliff. That's the piece of shit.
I could see that. I do think it was a situation of where she was like, I think I'm going to kill myself. And he was like, do it, you pussy.
No, I don't think he talked shit to her.
He's like, you're 0 for 3 in attempts so far. Maybe we get some professional help involved. And she's like, all right, let's move to Norway.
And I know a lot of our audience is thinking, it's like, I know how you guys think. And no, she's not fat or gross. She's not. She's like,
oh, she's not fat or gross? Then it's the boyfriend. She's not fat or gross. Fix that mental illness with your penis.
I mean, is she the greatest thing in all time and space? No, but she looks like when you get like a fake, like when it's like you get a fake friend request on Facebook, and it's like a European woman, and it's like, I'd like to be friends with you. I enjoy your Facebook profile pictures.
Is that how they get all those accounts?
Yeah,
they kill themselves and then they take them over?
That might be the case, Bobby. Maybe that's what they do. Doctors get you to kill yourself so they own the rights to you, and then they can use you as a bot and friend request people. It's like, your videos are fire. I'd like to talk to you more about your videos through a private chat.
Hi, I am a member of our elite team over at such and such jewelry. Would you like to be a brand ambassador? We see you do podcasting, and then you join us like, buy 5 pieces of merch and then use this code. You're like, this is just pyramid schemes.
Every kill begins with K. It's like, oh, it's K. K Suicidal Jewelers.
And what do you get them? I don't think Hallmark really makes a sorry your wife went through with physician-assisted suicide card.
Or even better, it's like, it's your euthanasia day.
I like that.
Euthanasia day cards are fun.
It's the final countdown.
They should have to play that the whole day. Dude, that'd be the best. That song's just playing. She's just there just giving her the pills. And as she's starting to die, she goes, I'm going to miss this song. It's like, nope, it's going to be rattling around your dumb head for the rest of your life.
Oh, dude.
Yeah. Not a bad looking lady, right?
If you're watching this, go to the Patreon, sign up so Pat and I can fly to Norway and save this dumb bitch.
Why are we going to? I'm not going with you to save this dumb bitch.
I don't know what simp she's fucking, but I guarantee you my penis could turn this girl's life around. And if not, why not try? She said she's tried all these other crazy fucking things
to
feel better.
On her partner, she's in love with her partner.
Apparently not, Pat.
Yeah.
Apparently not.
Hey, Bobby, would you support someone you date? If someone you were dating was like, I want to kill myself, would you be like, yeah, no, we want to kill yourself?
No, I wouldn't, Pat. I can honestly say a number of times I would go, no, I don't think that's the right move in this particular set of circumstances. Sure, it seems like the world's throwing everything at you from, a life to a bus. But at this point, it's time to hold on, battle down the hatches, and get through this shit. Be a man. Suck it up a little bit.
Do you use Spotify at all?
No.
But Spotify has a thing now where it's an AI DJ. So when you listen to music, he'll do, if you hit that thing, he'll personalize, like, hey, Bobby, it's me, X, you DJ. And I got some songs for what you're going through right now. Right? No, but he'll be like, I got some songs they're going through. Like, so I'm like, so I heard your girlfriend's going to kill herself. Here's Europe, a final countdown. Then it's like, by the way, I know your girlfriend just killed herself and you're leaving now. So here's little White Snake. Here I go again on my own. Like, it'd be fun if they had like a playlist for your girlfriend's going to kill herself. Now what? Volume 2.
Hey, Bobby, I see you finally just hit the highway on your home from the euthanasia clinic. Here, it's time for some Freebird by Leonard Skinner.
If I leave you tomorrow, or possibly 3.5 years of paperwork pending.
Would you still remember me? Probably. This was the worst 3.5 years of my life. I had to spend every day at a clinic for somebody. It's basically like I killed myself without the release of finally killing myself.
That'd be crazy though. If you're like, that was a good ploy. If you needed a couple more minutes to like make sure you could change out the death pit medicine to like just regular like fake medicine so she didn't die. You're like, I need like 7 minutes. It's like, have her listen to Freebird before you die. Oh, I need like 7.5, 8 minutes. It's like that. It's like, and by the way, if you kill yourself after the guitar solo, you don't deserve to live anyway. It's the greatest guitar solo of all fucking time.
You know who my piece of shit is? Actually, I've thought about this. Remington
Steele, the guy.
Yeah. Talk about a new marketing opportunity.
Oh,
hey,
yeah.
Do you need to kill yourself now and you don't have 3.5 years to wait through government paperwork? Boy, do we have a solution for you. We call this one the Cobain.
It's me. Well, you know what they should do in Denmark? If this becomes a thing where you can just go and get euthanized whenever you want. It's like they have a little cartoon character of this woman. She's all blue. It's a cartoon. She's got like the pigtails, kind of like a strawberry shortcake, but she's blue. And her name is Sue A. Side. And she's like, hello, it is me. Do you not like your life so much? Then you can come with me to the magical land of no more living. Come here to youth in Asia. And it's little children that are Chinese going, you don't want to live no more. You don't have to live there more. Oh. And they just bow and shit. And then you go through and you see the dragons and the pandas and you go with her. And then all of a sudden you're just happy and no one else is around you anymore. It's me, Sue Side. Come to the land of youth in Asia.
I kind of like that.
It's a good cartoon.
Yeah, I could get behind that.
It's gonna take us 3.5 years to make that a cartoon.
Dude, 3.5 years of just, oh God, and just jump.
Yeah, that's it. Just play in traffic, like the old saying.
Also, you ever notice how they don't put these anywhere where like they'd get too much use?
What do you mean?
So like the countries with kill boxes right now, like you've got Canada, they've got their pods, Sweden, and Norway. All three of those countries, things are pretty okay. Like, you don't
Yeah.
see a lot of suicide pods in Ethiopia.
It's because people that kill themselves feel like no one understands them. You know what I mean? No,
Oh,
in
yeah.
America more than anything else. They don't think no one understands them. So therefore, if the government's like, yeah, we get it, we have a thing for like, oh, I'm not doing it now because now you guys think it's cool. It's just wild that they're going. And I'm not trying to be a dick, but it's too late. Do you think? Because we all know people like this. Do you think she's doing this for attention only? And like when it gets to the day, she's not going to do it. She just really, really wanted to. Once she started talking about it and people started to give a shit about her, she's like, I got to continue to do this. This is getting me attention, and people care about me more now. And all of a sudden, she's like the girl who cried suicide.
I mean, I've met that girl a couple of times. No biggie.
You
No,
met her a couple times.
the girl who cried suicide. Yeah.
Is that during sex?
No, directly after.
She's making eye contact with you in missionary style. She's like, I'd like to die.
Well, I'd like to nut. So, can you give me 10 minutes before we talk about your thing?
Oh, fucking Jesus Christ.
I
Oh,
would
man.
like to. I'd like to nut real quick, and then we can worry about your whole suicide situation. It feels like one of those things happening before the other. Okay, if we flip the order, things might get bad.
See, Kish, who's a good man. I gauge what we're doing on a Kish scale sometimes. Like, Kish has the dark side of the humor, but also understands his lines. And if Kish thinks it's okay, then it's okay.
Yeah, and to answer your original question, this bitch definitely is doing it for the attention. I think about the halfway, like those 3.5 years felt real long at the beginning when they're like, this is gonna be a 3-year process. And she's like, I'll figure out a way out. And then like 2 years in, she was like, I guess I gotta stick to this. And then
You know
when that dude gets to heaven, her boyfriend, she's gonna be up there like this. I didn't want to actually die. You were supposed to read my mind and save me.
Oh my God. When I was saying I want my life to end, I meant I just wanted you to treat me like you love me. Like, I was just saying it'd be nice once we don't have date night anymore. Like, that's what I meant. Like, maybe the ultimate date would be you sitting by my side as I contemplated not being here anymore. And then you tell me how much I should be here, even though I say I shouldn't. Like, are you dunce? Are you dumb? Why would you just support me in this? Why are you enabling my death?
Yeah, and like, has this bitch done everything? Like, has she lived her whole life?
She's 26.
Yeah, so there's a lot you could do.
Yeah,
like,
but she's from Denmark or Norway. So she probably did it all.
So go, like, flash some random dude your titties. You know what I mean? Do something to make the world feel good.
Nobody wants to see her sad ass titties, Bobby. No, if she had a portal and they should do her portal from wherever she's from to Seattle, and just people just showing nooses and different ways to kill themselves.
It's just a big convention.
Yeah. Oh, fucking Jesus. Do you have anything?
I think I did my 2 stories, unfortunately. Do you have
Okay.
one more before we get out of here?
Without a doubt. I always come with a plethora. All right. So what do we want to do? We got a couple of fun things. All right. Do you want crazy injury or an arrest in a weird place?
Crazy injury.
Okay. This involves a video, and I don't have the video to be shown, but that's okay. We don't need to see the injury. But
No, I hate that. Now, I will say,
Wild
you know what, it's a crazy injury? The government killing you.
Oh.
Or did you think I was going to say getting your jaw broken by your 7-year-old rival?
I thought we were going back. I thought you were going to play the video again. Yeah. Wild video shows airline worker tumble from plane after not realizing co-workers moved the ladder.
Oh, shit.
They were working on a plane, obviously in the bay area there. I was grounded, obviously, but he was up on the thing and they moved it. Always look before you step off an airplane. An airplane worker is going viral with a painful video showing him stepping off a plane just to plummet several feet to the tarmac because the ladder had been moved. So he was going out, wasn't paying attention. It did a Wile E. Coyote, like whoop, 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 and he just fucking went to the fucking ground. A phone video showed the ground staff member appeared to be speaking with someone inside a Transnusa airline Airbus 8.
I know who the piece of shit is. Fucking, you put trannies in the workforce. This is what happens.
I thought you'd land on your dick, lady. Airlines Airbus.
Oh, let me guess. You broke your cock.
For those who break their cock, we salute you. That should be the new trans theme song. For those who cut their cock, we salute you. It's just Biden fucking crying. Everybody's trans, yay! We did it.
I mean,
we broke everyone. Like,
it would be a lot harder to make fun of them if that was their theme song.
Dude, if we've done anything today, we have inspired theme songs for the worst things. AC/DC in Europe are like, leave us the fuck out of this. Like, why are we in this?
We're gonna get an official cease and desist from whatever record label owns both those bands. They're gonna be like, please stop including us in your stories.
For those that tuck their cock. Like Target gonna use that when they're making those bathing suits.
What if it's a commercial for the suicide pods? For those who tuck their cocks, we'll recruit you.
For those who tuck their cocks. What do you call it when you have to get a sex change operation? It's a dirty deed and it's done dirt cheap. A phone video shows the ground staff member appearing to be speaking with someone inside the Airbus ahead of a departure from Jakarta Airport in Indonesia. The worker appears to have no idea that his colleagues had just started moving the steps away when he suddenly steps out. He plummets to the runway, sending several sheets of paper into the air as he falls. Do you want to find the video? If you want to, you can. It's not gruesome. A woman shouting was also heard as the man landed on his back on the concrete. The man suffered several injuries, but none were life-threatening, according to local reports. Authorities are investigating the incident, which appears to violate aviation rules for mobile ladders to remain in place until the plane doors are closed, the report said. Who is the piece of shit in this story? Is it the guy who doesn't look out for? Yeah, I get it. You're just doing your job. But people who work on skyscrapers, they don't just not look for the end of the metal. You should keep looking where you're walking. At all times in life, look where you're going. Is it the people that are working with him for not going, hey, we moved the stairs? Like, it takes 2 seconds. We're moving the stairs, Phil. And he's like, all right, I won't just cartoon walk out of the fucking thing. Is it Jakarta? I keep hearing that name. Isn't that the name of the bad guy in Aladdin? I don't even know what that is, but I don't know why he has a town now.
Jafar.
Who's the piece of shit in the story?
The piece of shit in the story? The dude who fell out of the airplane.
Why?
It's the first rule of stairs. Make sure the stairs are there.
First rule of stairs.
Yeah. Like,
That'd be great. Do you know the rules of stairs? I don't know. What are they? Make sure they're there.
That's it.
That's the rule.
Step 2 is if it's slippery, hold a railing.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I mean,
Oh, fuck.
it is sad he got hurt, and his friends shouldn't have moved the thing.
Oh, there's friends.
They're
Like
friends.
buds.
You don't move the stairs and make a guy fall out of the airplane if you aren't fucking around at work.
Bobby, that's how you teach a lesson. Go back to your first story. Maybe that guy was being a dick, and they're like, oh, you're being a dick? Maybe we move the stairs.
We tried to talk to you. We tried to talk to your parents. This is the only option we had left, moving the stairs. I mean, but no, that's what happens in jobs like that. I remember one time I got a guy so angry he threw a bicycle at me. At Dick's.
He threw a bicycle at you, but he didn't move a bike as you tried to get on it. There's a difference. He just was angry, and you caused rage. You knew in the moment that he was upset and then threw a thing. You didn't go off, do other stuff, and then he sneakily did something.
Oh, that stuff would happen all the time too. Like occasionally you'd be up hanging bikes on the top shelf, and then there just wouldn't be a ladder, and you'd have to climb down. One time we saw a guy fall flat on his back. So for me, it's the guy. Like if you work in an environment like that, what's he gonna say? Oh, the engine shouldn't have been on. It shouldn't have sucked me in. It's that guy's fault. No, pay attention. Your safety's on you, not everybody around you.
I can't blame the guy. I gotta say it's the people that move the fucking ladder. It's like, why are you moving the ladder? Like, first of all, that tells me I would never fly for any airline when they only have one ladder. You know what I mean? You don't have 2 ladders.
Yeah,
like,
no,
it's
that's
a giant
bad.
airport. All right. Oh, Jesus Christ! Is there a way? Can you pause it when he's halfway down? Oh, Wait, was his leg was? Oh my god! So okay, there he is. The ladder isn't that far away. But you know what? Now I get it. By seeing it, I get it now because the ladder is not like off. I was thinking it was off to the side. It's just back. So when he's looking out the door, I think he just sees the stairwell and he just thinks, oh, it's a little farther away. But why would he think it's not there with a huge space? He sees the railings. It's forward. He just didn't know there was a gap. So they're fucked up. If they moved it to the left or the right and he couldn't see the railings, then yeah, he'd be like, where the fuck do I go? But they just pulled it back. But I guess here's my question. Why are they recording this?
Because they were clearly pranking him.
Yeah, see, that's the part. Yeah, they obviously were pranking him. Because why was there a camera on it, like waiting for the guy to walk out? Now it's more vicious. I didn't even think. I thought maybe you were going to see like the camera we were going to see was like the airport security cams, and they pulled that footage. Someone got hurt, and that shit happens like that sometimes. Like like when I was working at Big Lots and we did an overnight thing where we had to like redo the whole store. So like overnight, me and a couple other guys had to knock down all these registers and the whole areas, break them, literally like physically break down all this like the wood and all that shit, move it to the back. They were bringing in new things, moving stuff around, all that kind of shit, and they're bringing in all these new things they were bringing in. So when we did that, it was like 3 a.m. My boss was in the back room, like, taking a break for a second, and another guy who was helping us, he was out to the side. So I went up there and I went to go move something, or we're taking coffee breaks, and I stood on one of the pieces of wood and that was kind of slippery, and I didn't realize it, and I slipped ass over tea kettle. It went, whoa, and nobody saw me. But because I'm like you and most of us that watch this show, when I fall like that, I wasn't hurt. I was laughing from the embarrassment, but I was also more mad that people didn't get to laugh with me at the embarrassment, because that's fun. You take a dumb fall, you laugh, whatever. So I went in the back and I was telling both of them, and Pete's like, oh, I can pull that footage. And I was like, what? He's like, yeah. So we went over the security things and we walked, and there's me going, whoa, and we're dying laughing. And he put it on, he shared it on Facebook. And it was fucking funny. And I kind of get that. But he didn't set it up so I would fall. I fell and told him. But to be like, dude, I don't know who's more of the piece of shit. Is it the people that pulled it back and set up the prank? Or is it the guy who's like, I'll work the camera? Like, that guy is just sitting back there going, think about how you're sitting there and you're just waiting and waiting for a man to plummet. That was a good 10, 15 feet.
It could have been fatal if he had landed on his neck or something.
The way his leg was straight down, I'm shocked he didn't break his leg. There's some injury, but nothing bad. But like, holy shit. But wait, now how do you keep working? You quit, right? I would quit my job. I would sue them. I wouldn't have to work anymore. You would definitely have lawsuits. But in America, I don't know about Indonesia. Maybe you get like a snake in a fucking hat. I don't know what you get.
This guy's basically a goddamn doctor in Indonesia, so he's not giving up that job. It's about as good as it gets. The only other possibility I thought of was these guys have done the move the ladder trick a number of times, like not intentionally. Not intentionally, but like it's been a problem a number of times. Nobody's fallen, and the guy with the camera was like, I am not getting blamed when this shit goes down. I am going to film so we see everybody involved. Like, he's seen them fuck this up a number of times, and instead of going up the proper food chain, was just like, I'm protecting myself. Because I've also been that guy.
Yeah, I get. Like, we used to joke around at Big Lots. We had that ladder where it's wheels, and it's, it only goes up to like the top shelf. It's not a huge. There was taller ones where you could do stuff. We couldn't break those out during the day. But if somebody was on that ladder and we knew them, we go over, no one's looking, and kind of move it a little bit. You know what I mean? It just fucking but like we knew they weren't gonna get hurt. But like I would never like start wheeling it around with them fucking on it or anything insane. Because like you want to say it's because you don't want them to get hurt, but you don't want to get in trouble. That was 3 men who really felt like they can't get in trouble. Something had to be happening where they're like, this guy's fun, he won't get mad, but then they record. There's more to this. That you can't just be joking when you want a guy to fall out of an airplane. Now, if you fell off like a 2-foot thing or something, ha ha ha. But once you're plummeting onto the tarmac, we don't hear that word tarmac too much because it used to be called tardmac. Because the second you hit it, boom, you're a tard. You're just like, Mac. You are now special needs Jones. That's what's happening to you. You hit the floor. You okay?
Tardback got me pretty good.
Oh, good. It sounds like a movie with Burt Reynolds in the 80s. Hardback got me pretty good, starring Burt Reynolds
And Bernie,
and a retarded guy.
Bernie Mac.
Bernie.
Oh man,
And Retardo Montalban. That's the
So-
person.
one time at Dick's, we had those Z bars where you put the clothes on that have the wheels, and it was Christmas Eve, and we weren't allowed to leave till the manager was done setting the ad. So we just instead in the main aisle of the store, one person took a shoe catcher thing, and we jousted the rest of the evening.
That's fun.
Yeah, it is. But again, you're like, we're gonna get in trouble at some point. At that point, I was like, I hope they send me home.
What we used to do is when I worked at Lowe's like 20-something years ago, like right when my daughter was born, I worked there with a buddy of mine from college. He was working there and then got me a job. So we'd known each other for a while, and we would always joke and have crazy sense of humor together. He worked in one department right behind it. I was like in the hardware department, and he was like in millwork or whatever, and then moved over to lumber. But anyway, I say that because it was one department behind the other. So like some of the aisles would meet for our two places. So when it was real slow, like on a Sunday, and people needed help, we had to walk over to somebody and say, "Do you need help with anything?" So him and I would always see the same person. So then we would go on the phones to each other. I'd call there and go, "You want to get that person?" And we'd make jokes about how we're gonna like be silly or do something. So one day, what we said, we had an idea. We were at the lunch break, and I'm like, tonight when like no one's around, we knew the one manager, he never pays attention. It's like, all right, when I go in the aisle, we had those aluminum metal garbage cans, the ones they used like in wrestling to hit each other with stuff. And they're very like chintzy. So like if you touch it, it does dent and bend. But if you push it in, it doesn't really hurt because it's thin, you know? So I was like, dude, so I'm gonna help a woman out. When I do that, run towards us and just go, "Oh, WWE," and then hit me with the thing and then run off, and then I'll continue to help her. And so I'm like saying it being kind of funny. He's agreeing, kind of being funny. But then the opportunity happened. There was this woman. She's like, "Can you show me these ladders?" So I go over and I kind of like look at him like, this would be funny, thinking he's not going to really do it. It'll be like kind of silly. We'll laugh. I'm helping her out. And I'm like, "Well, this ladder does that." And he is here. Oh, boom! He hits me with the aluminum garbage can. Dude, it folds on my head like a triangle. It doesn't hurt at all, but I pretend to drop down to the ground. She's
Amazing.
like, "Ah!" And then he runs away and he goes, "Oh, plumbing." I don't know why he yelled plumbing, but I always we weren't in plumbing. He just ran away. And then I stand back up, I rub my head and go, "Are there any more questions or can I go to the hospital now?" And then she walked away. Dude, we laughed. We got talked to by our management for a while, but it was a good time. No one really got hurt, but I guess I could have gotten hurt and it could have been bad. So maybe that's what these Indonesian fun boys were doing. Maybe they were just having a good time and it went too far.
Two things. One, you shouldn't call them Indonesian fun boys. People will think different things.
The second I said it, I was like, that is the new term for lady boys. Indonesian fun boys.
Yeah. Two, I can't let you gloss over. We got talked to management for a while. How did that conversation go? Did they just have a video and they were like, "So what happened here?" Like,
we had been talked to a week earlier because we kept going on the speaker thing where it's like, customer needs assistance, and you say whatever. And him and I would always just say the toilets, and that wasn't a section, but we would just be like, "Customer needs assistance with toilets. Customer needs assistance with toilets." And then you'd hear someone else just laughing in Lowe's. You hear little kids laugh, whatever. And they'd be like, "Please stop using that." And then I went on and said, "Sorry about the earlier announcement about toilets. My apologies about the toilet." They're like, "All right, stop using the phone thing." So they kind of let us go because we were fun, but they were like, "All right, you guys are nuts." This one was the one that's like, "You guys can't work the same shifts anymore." I'm like, okay. We had to be separated because we were too much friends.
when you start getting the high school treatment at your day job, it's not good. Where they're like, the teacher had to separate us.
You got to keep them separated. Anyway.
Those announcements, man, they were big. I used to
Yes.
have the honor of doing the closing announcements every day at the distance store.
What was your best? What did you make them up or did you do them?
Buenas noches, Deportes de Tardes fans.
Did they tell you to be Spanish or you just do it?
One time it was 7:45 and we closed at 7:30, and there were 2 Spanish people in the store who wouldn't leave. So I came up and was just basically tried my Spanglish at them. Most of the time it was just me ripping off Robin Williams. Good evening, sports fans. The current time is 7:30 p.m. and Dick's Sporting Goods will be closing in just 15 short minutes. At this time, let's take all items and head up to the registers for a fast and courteous checkout. For your shopping convenience, Dick's Sporting Goods is available 24/7 online at dicks.com.
I don't know why that reminds me of this. So when I was working at Lowe's, it was a year after 9/11. And I remember that first year after 9/11, on 9/11, at the time when it happened, like a lot of businesses and stuff in radio and everything did like a moment of silence for that stuff. I don't know if you remember that. But at Lowe's, it was a nationwide thing where all the Lowe's were going to do a moment of silence inside the stores at that time. And there couldn't be any talking, no music would be played, whatever like that. We all had to stop. Well, we had this guy who worked there who was like straight off the boat from Russia, and he worked in the tools department. And I don't think he really paid attention to the news too much. I'm over in the hardware section. He worked in tools, and hardware is kind of in charge of tools. And I had faked my way to become manager of hardware. I can't build anything, but all you had to do was like fake a test or whatever, and all of a sudden I was like a manager. This guy who had probably built half of Russia with his own hands had to ask me like fucking for things where I'm like, I don't even know what a tape measure is. It's like so. He walks over. It's in the moment of silence. There's customers standing there. They want help, and everyone's just. I saw a woman like almost crying because her memories of 9/11, and she's at Lowe's buying a stud finder. So it's fucking already horseshit. And this guy walks over and just out loud goes, "Fuck, can I go on break?" I'm just like, shh. And he goes, "Can I go on break?" And he just kept saying it quieter, and I was like, go. And he's like, came back later, he goes, "Was there something wrong with your throat, Pat?" I go, "We were doing a moment of silence." He goes, "That happened so long ago."
In Russia, they silence you.
Yeah, that's it. In Russia, there is no silence. You just did. I always remember that. Can I go on break? Shh. Can I go on break? It's like, all right.
Please.
He used to sing. We play the same 12 songs, and then we'll get off this thing and we'll end the show soon. But you know, you worked at Dick's, probably the same thing. Like they play like the radio, the playlist songs they do. So like for like a month, you get like the same 12 to 15 songs over and fucking over again. One of the songs was the Celine Dion, like, you know, "I'm your lady and you are my man," like that song. And I am your lady. He is broke. 60-year-old Russian guy would go, "I am lady, and you are," and he would pause and go, "The man," and he would like, you'd hear him say it out loud. I would, whenever the song came on, I would run over to like, I'd bring this guy Jose with me. We'd run over, and we'd like hide behind stuff because he thought no one was watching. He would just belt it out like he was Fightful Mouskowitz from American Tail. Like he's just like staring off. He's like, "I am lady," because he would get the words. It was so great to watch that guy. He's got to be dead, but that was good stuff.
Did one time you lean over to go, "Jose, can you see?" And the Russian guy just started singing the rest of the national anthem?
He thought Jose was African because we had other Africans there, and he just didn't know what a Puerto Rican was. He's like, "You African like James?" He's like, "I'm not African at all." He's like, "So like James?" It's like he didn't understand. The other times he's like, "I don't want them near me." I'm like, "Who?" He's like, "The Africans." I'm like, "Okay."
That's what he meant when he was like, he's like James Bad. He didn't think they were both from Africa. He just meant not Russian.
Yeah, he did not like it. He's like, "I don't want them near me." James is like, "I do not want to be near that man either." It's like, all right, no problem,
Okay,
James.
so apparently we're about to have a turf war over in plumbing, guys.
Yes.
We need to separate these two. You thought me and my
Yeah.
homie from college were a problem.
There's a race war over in toilets. There's a race war over in toilets.
Customer needs help in toilets. That's what they said. My bad, I
That's it.
misunderstood. Oh, God.
All right, Bobby, you got anything else?
I did. You brought up 9/11, and I did have
I
one
did bring up
question.
9/11.
Like, do you think there was an altar boy who was getting molested while that happened?
During
So,
9/11?
That they're like, never forget. And he was like, all I try to do is forget.
When I first started, I used to do a joke saying some sayings can have two meanings. and they can really change just by the tone. And I was like, so like, never forget when talking about 9/11, powerful, moving. When whispered to you by a fat girl after a drunken one-night stand, the most haunting thing in the world. Say, never forget. Like, oh no.
Yeah.
Good morning, Ed's Funhouse.
It's crazy how that saying could have been used by either side about the incident. Like the Taliban could have also used "Never Forget" as their slogan.
Yeah. What's the deal with forgetting? What's the deal? You never forget. Always remember. That'd be a better saying. You never forget to remember. You remember to forget. Forget. 4 gets. That's 4 gets. You only had 2 towers. What are you talking about?
What's the deal with forgetting?
Why don't you remember? That's stupid. How do you forget if you forgot?
I was there. I
forgot.
Out on Fire Island. So close to the destruction.
Was she 21 years old? I forget. Never forget that she's not legal. Oh.
She was 16.
Fuck. So that was your big thing.
I just thought it would, like it'd be because people use the saying like, "Oh, that was my 9/11."
Yeah, people do say. People quickly turned that into that was my 9/11.
Yeah, or like my Vietnam. I use that one a lot. That was my own personal Vietnam. Like there was somebody who their 9/11, or like you always ask the question, like, where were you when you heard the news?
Right. Or do you think sometimes
I don't want to talk about it? I just don't want to talk about it.
Dude, you ever take one of those like cheap like Greyhound buses when we're doing comedy and like it's all packed? It's like you get off, it's like that was my Amistad.
What do they call those around you? Because I recently,
Greyhound?
Yeah, I made a reference to somebody about we were talking about right.
Well, there's different. I mean, you mean the lines or just what they're called? Because there's all different lines. There's a Feng Hua for the Chinese.
Okay, what is that one called? What do you call that bus? The Chinese one. Okay, so Mega Bus is what it's called in New York, but in state.
Oh, that's a company. Yeah, I've used Mega Bus. Yeah, that's a company though.
But where I went to school, there was a line. Same setup. You could pay like $1 for seats, but it was literally called the China Bus.
The China Bus? It said that on the side. The China Bus.
China Bus. Yeah. It was a line. And dude, I kid you not, the way it worked was there was one driver, and they would go everywhere. Like they would go to California from State College. Is one driver would sit and drive, and the other Chinese driver would sit on a stool. Like, where the stairs go up to get on a bus? His stool was at the top of those stairs, and he would sit with his feet, and they would just sit there, and they would rotate every 3 hours.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's good work.
I brought that up to somebody, and they had no idea what I was talking about and thought I was just being racist, calling all mega bus drivers Chinese. And if you've seen them drive, that would make sense. But it was like, no, this was a real thing. It was the greatest.
Good morning, Todd's girl. Hope Todd's doing well. I don't know who that is. But China Bus sounds like, you know what a succubus is?
Yes, I do. Go on. I would love to see where this is going.
I just picture it being a succubus, someone that's gonna suck your soul and everything out of you, and sexually and mentally and physically, but they're also Asian. So it's like, I devour entire penis and spirit and soul. Come to me to China Bus. Oh, you feel good for a long time and you not live no more. Oh, you're welcome. Welcome to euthanasia. China Bus.
China Bus would have been a more fun way to call COVID.
Yeah,
what happened? Bus? I got hit by the China Bus.
You know what? We're having fun. Let's do one more because it's the weekend, and boom, and you're not back till Monday anyway. If you want to hear the Thursday Thoughts show, it was a short one, but it was a fun takes on all the stories we did about the 2 commencement speeches that's this week. The Jerry Seinfeld commencement speech at Duke, and then the kicker, the guy Buckner, and his thing. And what we did was me and Bobby each chose a school of some kind of learning and a person that we think should speak at that would make it the most cringe or funniest commencement speeches. Go over there. It's called Thursday Thoughts. We'll be doing a Thursday Thought type thing like that every Thursday on the Patreon. Also, the Tuesday POS morning show is a fun one as well. And if you haven't seen the POS evening show yet, the replay's only over there. That was a fun one. Go check that out as well. If you can't, subscribe to that stuff anyway. Just like and subscribe right now. Boom, boom, boom. Hit all this stuff here and join us on Monday when we start at 8 a.m. Go ahead, buddy.
Hell yeah. No, I told my dad about that last night, and he had a couple funny commencements he thought of.
Are we going to have him on?
No. Just like a dentist giving the commencement speech at West Virginia University would be pretty good.
or what you call what's what's the smart English one?
What?
What's their Harvard? What's the fuck?
Fuck. I'm like,
God damn it, I can't think of it.
You know, I know what you meant. That would be
God
good
damn
too.
it. What's the name of that college that's good? The only good UK college. What?
I'm gonna Google.
So people
it
they're yelling at. No, I don't think our viewers don't.
Oxford.
Know what college
Oxford.
What the fuck? Why couldn't I think of that? Yeah. If a dentist spoke to Oxford.
If a geography expert gave a speech on the POS show, apparently, because we don't know shit.
Very much so.
The other good one.
That big time.
The other good one he had was a geneticist at the University of Alabama.
I like that as well. I like that they're taking someone that's talking to people that have no idea what they're saying, and that's kind of fun too. But are you familiar with who Scotty? Oh, do you know who Scotty Scheffler is?
No, I don't. Who's Scotty?
He's a professional golfer, and
Okay.
Scotty Scheffler detained and handcuffed by police outside of the PGA Championship.
I'm in.
Scotty Scheffler was detained by police and handcuffed by officers outside of Valhalla Golf Club. I don't think they're not racist there, huh? The Valhalla. We'll let Thor in before we let a black in. You know the rules. The guy stole my hammer. And in the second round of the PGA Championship, according to ESPN's Jeff Darlington, who witnessed the incident. Darlington said the police officer acted very quickly, very rapidly, very aggressively on ESPN's broadcast. The incident occurred around 5:45 a.m. in the pitch dark. As Scheffler was pulling off into the course, the police officer started banging on the side of his car to get him to stop. Scotty Scheffler did not stop the vehicle for 10 to 20 yards, Darlington said about the situation escalating. Darlington noted that Scheffler's car was the standard one players use to access the course. The police officer told Darlington that Scheffler is going to jail, and PGA security was not allowed access to Scheffler as he was being taken away. Scheffler, who initially... I think we missed part of it. No, that's really there. Okay. Scheffler, who was initially scheduled to tee off at 8:48, was trying to get to the course for Friday's second round, which had been delayed at least an hour by a fatal bus crash. Scheffler's incident was unrelated to the crash. But where's the part where they talk about the crash? So they don't really say anything in it like what he did, but I guess there was a car accident and they're saying he was part of it. And they came and they just fucking arrested him in the morning without talking to anyone, without saying anything, and just took him away. Almost like a Russian type feel. You know what I mean? We don't have to speak to you. No, we don't. And they just take a man away. Who's the piece of shit in the story? Is it Scotty Scheffler for getting in an accident and then just going, screw it. I got golf. And it just drives off the golf and hit and run. And then I got to play 18 and stand still. That's a good time. Isn't the cops for being all aggressive and crazy? You understand he's at a big golf tournament. You can turn to somebody and go, hey, there was an incident here. We're taking them away, whatever it is. Is it the Valhalla golf course? They sound like they run their own rules. They're Valhalla. That's a land of war. It's Vikings. Running someone over your car is nothing. You could plunge and rape and you can do all that kind of fun stuff. So why does that matter there? You're on Valhalla. That's Valhalla rules. Who's the piece of shit in the story?
Hang on 1 second. I got the details here of actually what went down. And based on what you told me, the piece of shit's the police officer. You realize what's going on. He didn't mean, you know what I mean? He was hustling to get around because he had to play. You make an exception. If that was Mick Jagger trying to get to a Rolling Stones concert, you wouldn't have treated him the same way, right?
Right.
But according to a witness, so Scheffler faces charges of second-degree assault of a police officer, third-degree criminal mischief, reckless driving, and disregarding traffic signals from an officer directing traffic.
Oh, Jesus.
So, according
Is he
to...
drunk?
I don't know. According to ESPN reporter Jeff Darlington, who witnessed the incident,
Same guy, yeah.
Sheff was trying to drive around the crash scene on a median. A police officer instructed Scheffler to stop, but Scheffler continued to drive about 10 to 20 yards towards the entrance. At one point,
I said they were banging on his car while he was driving.
So at one point, an officer grabbed onto the side of his car. Scheffler continued to drive and drug him for a little bit and then stopped as he turned into the entrance. After about 20 to 30 seconds. He rolled down his window. The officer grabbed Scheffler's arm to pull him out of the vehicle. The officer reached inside the vehicle to open the door, and once Scheffler was pulled out, he was pushed against the car into handcuffs. So they are saying him dragging the officer was the assault of a police officer.
Right, but he was only dragging him because he was trying to stop him for some other reason first. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for me, it's the cops. Like, let this guy golf. He's just trying to golf. Fuck that.
He's not gonna hurt anybody. I mean, he's racist and he's probably mean to his wife, but he's not hurting anybody else.
Yeah, exactly. And like, he could be drunk driving on the roads. Now he's gonna be drunk driving at a golf course. It's not nearly as bad.
Hey, Ricky Smith, real quick, please tell everyone in that Twitch room that I say hi. I miss all of them. I haven't been on there in a while, so please let them all know that when you talk to them. And whoever that guest was, haha. But
it was Scotty Scheffler.
Oh no! It was the guy who him and his brothers beat up the kid at the beginning of the first story. He was on there as a guest.
No. It was the other kid, the kid whose dad got beat up. Chaz and AJ were trying to help parent too. They're like, make fun of this little 7-year-old.
We all gotta help out when we can. You know what I mean? Hey, everybody that jumped in today, the people that jumped in late, Mandy D, Ed's Funhouse, Todd's Girl, Kish from right from the beginning, Ricky Smith for being there today, Stormy. I think we had a couple other people in there as well. We thank everybody. So Bobby, I gotta figure out the V thing. I don't know how to do. If you and I could this weekend you kind of look it up too to see how do I unban somebody from the chat. Maybe we can reach out to him. I don't know what happened there. I mean, I do know what happened, but it was kind of crazy. Yeah, and I kind of want to know who the guest was, but I also kind of don't want to know Ricky. But anyway, so we thank all you guys as always for doing this. If you could do me a favor, you're watching this video, you're gonna end now. You could just share it. There's a share button. Just hit it to any of your social media thing, and just write, "Hey, I had some laughs this morning. Watch this if you want to laugh." It's like, cause that's what we're doing. We're bringing uncensored fun laugh. We've been having some great shows. I really enjoyed doing it. But we just would love more people on board. If you can sign for the Patreon and support us, that's freaking awesome. I really appreciate that. You know what I mean? But like, if you can't, subscribing here, liking here, doing all that helps a lot too. And we appreciate you guys being there. Kish, thank you, man. You're always great when you're on. I want Kish on sometime soon. We got to do one of those shows, a regular one. But definitely want to have him on. But then we won't have anybody saying good morning to us in the chat. It will just be in person, which is also nice too, I guess. But more importantly, Bobby, I hope you feel better. I hope you rest this weekend. Don't eat any more Burger King. You know what I mean?
Oh, fucking Burger King.
Do you have a lot of shows, or you got things going on where do you get the chance to rest at least this weekend?
I'm hoping not. I'm hoping I have a lot of big things going on this weekend, but as of now, no shows. I'm hoping my birthday's Tuesday, so I'm hoping to celebrate with some people this weekend, and
And as a birthday present, you do not have to be on the Tuesday show. If you want to do a celebration on Patreon, we can do the Bobby birthday. We could do that on Tuesday, or we could do it. Definitely, you don't have to do Tuesday night. If you're going out that Tuesday night, I can get another guest. You let me know, but I can get another guest on for that show or do it myself. If you want to be on, please be on. But if you don't want to be on, it's your birthday. You don't have to.
Well, thank you so much. And thank you for having me on every day, Pat. It's been lovely to be here. I hope you have a great weekend. Do you have a bunch of shows?
No. You're my co-host.
I know, but I truly, we've talked about it enough, so I'm not going to suck your dick at the end of the episode. But truly, like, waking up, even the days where I'm 15 minutes late and I'm panicking, like, there's excitement about getting to come and hang out with you for 2 hours. So this is truly
we have a lot of fun,
a ton of enjoyment. So thank you for that.
And please feeling the same way, and that's why I want people to share this thing. We have fun on this show. It isn't two people being forced together to do a thing. We enjoy shitting on stuff together and doing it in the mornings. And it's a good time. Enough of this kumbaya bullshit. But what people need to do is subscribe, all those fun things. But on Monday we can talk about you getting ready, because Monday will be your birthday eve. Like, how does it feel to be going to the next age and all that kind of fun things like there, plus a bunch of other shit. I know we have guests sometime next week, but I forget what day. And then this weekend I've got a show tonight, but more importantly, Sunday I am roasting a golfer who also is an FBI or a former detective in Bridgeport, Connecticut, in front of other golfers with him. And they gave me some great information. So I'll have a lot on how that went, me shitting on a guy for a half hour who's got a lot of money and power, and see if I'm still alive after that.
Hell yeah, man. I'm very happy for you. And Pat, I just want to tell you, you're a great dude. You're going to go on to great things, regardless of what happens. If anything were to happen to me, I want you to have my computers and all my recording equipment. No, they don't, but their work as good as yours does. So you could have 3 that kind of work.
All right, thanks.
And to all the people in the chat, I love you guys. Thank you for everything. You've really, truly been a happiness in my life. So just, I had some paperwork. It took about 3.5 years to go through.
I was gonna say it sounds like.
So
Dude,
it finally is coming through. So I'll let you guys know what happens Monday.
Dude, if you did kill yourself and that was your sign off, and we only got like 33 views, that would suck.
That would be representative of my life in a nutshell. On that note, remember the comeback's always greater than the setback, ladies and gentlemen, and don't be a piece of shit.
Oh no, don't visit us and you today.